Hello and welcome to our shitty power rankings. The Make-A-Wish kid we have with us this time is none other than Scythe. Would you like to
Hello.
introduce yourself? Hey, just jump the
Hello.
fucking
I'm
gun.
I'm Eric or Ace, and this is the season 18 power ranking for GPA. I was the one
I
to
thought your
brought
name was
Mega
Tempest.
Venusaur. No, no.
That's his
I was the one who.
surname!
Yeah, that's my surname. Come on, man. You're not supposed to throw in my government name. But yeah, I brought Venusaur to greatness last season, and that's my peak. We're going down here from here.
I write that shit on my CV.
Exactly.
Also,
Well,
sometime.
we're starting off with man himself, All-Star, with his first pick turtle into HO question mark.
Drum would be proud.
But it does strike me as a very drum team.
Yeah. He did first pick Tarapogas in the Raccoon League as well.
A hero.
Truly a hero of the people. That's Drum, right? Not All-Star.
Yeah. Drum.
Now, I don't know. I get the first pick turtle because he probably just wants to use the turtle. But it does not mean that we're not going to bully him for the turtle.
Indeed.
You know? I was going to change the Pokédex. That's showing the old turtle at the moment. But carry on.
I think Turtle's best on balance, and this is Turtle on HO.
Yeah, like he also has like mons that do not appreciate hazards, whilst
Yeah.
having turtle as his only
removal.
removal just does not feel good.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Like,
all his mons want to set up and do stuff, and none of them want to hit those hazards. You know.
Turtle, no. He got Thanos snapped out of existence.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Turtle's better now.
forced to run boots every week, even though you mostly want to, but it would be nice to be able to run something else sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
And now you literally can't.
Yeah.
I like Turtle with
Like Booster Energy Moth, Annihilate, both really not appreciate the lack of
hazards.
hazard removal.
Yeah.
Like you got Defog, Flygon, and Spin fucking Carcole, but like we don't talk about that.
Having to bring Flygon to a game is just like not a good time.
No.
Literally.
It is quite frail as well for a defogger on the Flygon.
Yeah. Like, I actually thought about picking up Flygon the other season, but I went for fucking Gliscott over Flygon. I think that just says everything about Flygon.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Rather just pick up fucking NFE.
Like it's just too frail.
Yeah. And its offensive stats are just bad.
Oh yeah. Like first impression is nice, and like it has some utility in there, but again, it just doesn't feel good.
I mean, back to more hating on the turtle.
Oh yeah.
When if I would ever pick the turtle, I think I'd like to run it with like either a cleric to heal belt off a rest, or like a wish passer, so you can like get the whatever the abilities back online again, so you can reuse it.
Oh, 100%. Like he has wish passing on the Sylveon, but I think it's just too little, too late.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
just don't think
man went
Sylveon
way too hard
fits.
into offense,
Yeah,
and then he just slapped a Sylveon on there.
you
I just don't know
you
what it's doing.
dissing the core of Chestnut, Sylveon, Flygon.
Flygon? Yes, I am.
Hater.
Uh,
I
like
would
the
also.
Inteleon I like, but still feels weird with a Samurott personally.
Yeah,
Feels like they're both going to do the same job.
this team is also awfully slow for what to me is HO.
Oh, 100%.
It's got like what?
When Inteleon is your main speed control, it is slightly concerning.
Yeah.
Especially with like Scarf and not really wanting to be put on many things because again, hazards.
When your
Like,
HO
it's
team, when your HO team has 2 Pokemon above 100 base speed, I think it's a concern.
Yeah, agreed. But it's only 3.
It's
But
yeah,
like,
it's free.
I said
Well,
above.
yeah.
Flygon's base 100.
Yeah,
Unless
but
it's oh Cabalion.
there's
Yeah, my bad, my
yeah,
Right,
bad.
yeah.
yeah, Marion, yeah. I know he's non-existent in
Yeah,
our eyes.
well,
He is there.
what's he gonna do?
We do have to mention him.
Hit you with the fucking rapid body slam? Bam! Not body slam, body press. Bam! Been
But yeah, I feel
sacked.
like there's just too many Mons on this team that just don't need to be on this team. Like I said, with the Samurott and the Inteleon working together, just doesn't feel right. And then hazard removal being ass, which is funny because if you look at his hazard score,
It's really
according
high.
to the amazing computer, it is the best hazard control. But that's only because if this was on a balanced team, it would be insane hazards. But instead of being on a balance, it's HO with Sylveon and arguably Chestnut, I guess. But the Chestnut.
Indeed.
I'd
Yeah.
also like to mention any psychic attacker is ruining this team. He doesn't have a single psychic resist,
And
and the
one
only thing
immunity.
he has is
What about
immunity
Samurott?
on
Yeah.
Samurott. That's immunity, my friend, not a resist. But anything that's like, say, like a psychic type with Dazzling Gleam, Mega Glade, uh, many psychic types are just going to clear this whole team, and there's nothing he can do.
Yup.
Big upset. That's what's gonna
Indeed.
happen.
Not looking too
But I
hard
think his
against the
best
ground
bet
types either,
for
to be honest. Like, well, actually, he's
no,
got Chestnut, but like a lot of ground types will have coverage to deal with Chestnut. And then it's
Yeah.
back to we're back with Flygon, baby.
I was gonna say he doesn't appreciate many things. Like he's really weak to Fairy as well. Outside Iron Moth as a resist and Carkol as a resist, which let's face it, they're just not. Like any decent physical fairy hitting Mon would play rough, like a Morwell. It's just team's just gonna be rough. Like you can bring in the Iron Moth, sure, but it's gonna take one play rough tops.
Yeah, and it's down to the sucker in return, especially from Mega Mawile. If you don't
Oh,
like
literally.
press a utility move instead.
And like another thing is like a lot of fairy types have like psychic coverage. So all it takes is like a Carmining Clef or something, or anything like that, and one sidekick to that Iron Moth, and then it's just having a field day with the rest of the team.
Yup.
I've been told CMs on Clef to send people often.
Very deadly.
Indeed. But I don't know. The team has a lot of problems, in my opinion.
There's a decent amount of good like individual mons that just don't work together.
Oh, agree. Like I said, the first 4 months are pretty goated,
Yeah.
but like they just don't have any support.
Yeah, and like there's so many like anti-synergies. Like I don't like Chestnut
Mhm.
with Samurott because like I feel like a lot of what I'd pick a Chestnut for is the spikes.
Yeah.
Oh
Spikes
yeah,
feel
And the
very nice on
seeds.
Chestnut, and then the spikes are just already done by Samurott.
and don't mention the fact he has 3 fighting types for some reason.
That would be a lot.
Indeed, three fighting types is a bit rough. All hitting on the same side as well. All physical attackers.
Yep.
Yeah, 3
I say
fighting mons and then no psychic resist.
Yup.
That's rough.
his only physical attacking moves are on the like fighting types.
Flying type's also shit on
Like
his team. His flying resist is the Carkol,
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
and you don't want to bring a Carkol.
hmm I think there's just too many like duplicated types. Like, it's bad enough he has 3 fighting types. He's then got the 2 water types, and like I don't know, the team's rough.
Yep.
Cabalion being his steel type, not nice. Flygon being his ground type, very rough. Like these are premium types, and they're just put on really shit mons.
Yeah, pretty much. It always feels bad that your steel type is ass, and your steel type is ass, so it feels fucking bad. Like, how can you get away with your steel type being a Cabalion? It just doesn't feel good.
Your steel type that doesn't resist psychic or flying,
Or fairy.
or yeah, or fairy. I was about to say yeah.
Doesn't feel like much of a steel type all of a sudden.
No, yeah.
And I think this team is just, I hope I can beat you before you can beat me, because fuck me, can you beat me very easily.
And even then, though, I think we're going to see there's a lot of prime examples in the league this season that are that. They are the HO smash me before you smash me. And I feel like this team's just not going to compare to those teams because they've gone more all in on the smash meta. Whilst my man like got cold feet, slapped a Sylveon on there, and then like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the
It's like he
Smash,
tried to go to balance, but he was already too far in, and too many good
yeah,
walls had gone.
two of that means first two picks, Turtle and Monkey, and Samrock. To be honest, I think Samrock don't want to be on HO. Samrock can be on anything. To be fair, Samrock can
I
be on anything.
personally,
But the first two, I
those
don't
first
think
three
you want to be on
picks,
HO.
I love because you have the spike setting with Samurott, you have spin on Turtle, and you have a great spin blocker and defog blocker in an Annihilape.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But then, instead of choosing either HO on that, which it can go HO, I think they both, like especially in Ape and Turtle, work way better on balance than HO.
Yeah,
But could have gone HO, but also could have gone balance. Has gone for the weird Iron Moth into Sylveon, which is still rough, but like could be salvaged. But then like the Intellion, I feel just great Mon for terroring. I just don't think it fit on the team at all.
no.
And then after that, there was no real good walls left, and it's just gone to shit.
Yes.
Like I feel if that Iron Moth was like a good wall core with the Sylveon and like another Mon, and then those last four Mons can be the I want to have fun with this Mon Pokemon, and you build off that. But instead, it just feels like he's got three really cracked first picks. Mind you, I don't think Turtle's a good first pick. I'm just saying like those
They
three
work
Mons
really well
together,
together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are
Focus
actually
Sash
yeah.
performs
really
well.
good. It then just kind of goes downhill from there.
Mhm. Like do be last, but we can compliment it. And the first three are cracked, but then it's just like,
Mhm.
why do you need a morph after that start? You don't. You don't need a morph.
Oh, literally. Like even then, Moth does suit the team, but you have higher priorities than a Moth at
Yeah,
that point.
literally. Like you can pick that shit up later once you've founded a good like defensive core.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, I think we move on to the next team after that.
Agreed.
Because there's not much great to say about this. Otherwise, we just shit talking All Star for 3 hours.
Hey.
Don't
We can
don't
do
tempt me with a good time.
that. The next team is JDS, who, following, there seems to be a trend going with questionable first picks at this bottom end. First picked a Rillaboom. Now, I'm a big Rillaboom enjoyer. Less so after all the Grassy Surge, like fucking Grassy Glide nerfs. But still a Rillaboom enjoyer. I would not first pick it though.
No, I think this mon is honestly like third round at earliest, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It also gives me like deja vu. You replace that Sneasel with like a Halucha, and this just looks like any
Terrain team.
grassy terrain Gen 7 team back in the day. Minus like a defogger, which is
Fuck.
Pretty
not
good.
good.
Pretty good
Not good.
ahead. We
But
have
yeah.
the no hazards and the no defog. What are hazards? I mean, we've got rocks. I didn't realize Dancy
Box
got
Clash is
spikes.
alright.
You don't want to win spikes on the anti
No,
anyway.
you do not.
My Mega Diance's here to set the spikes, baby.
And the Stealth Rocks if you're really desperate.
And then my Volcanion can defog them away.
Ooh. And then my Sneasel's here, the fucking T-Spike. Legendary.
Indeed. One thing I will
That's
say
no,
with
no,
both
that's the
teams.
set. You go Focus Smash on Burden, you throw out the T-Spike, you get your own Burden boost. Who's stopping you?
So right.
Rocky Helmet.
Nah, shit, real. What are you bringing a Rocky Helmet against this team? We'll regenerate it with the train. We're getting big.
Exactly. Now I said I like the elements of this team. I can see the idea. It just the Zygarde way too early. Volcanion I rate as a terror, but it needs support, and its support is a Clef and a Bronzong. Like, even if you do want to just go HO, you need to have like pivotable walls, and like Clef can pivot wall, but it pivots once, and then it's dying next time it comes in because like it's not bulky enough to tank enough hits to like safely pivot. You know.
Literally. Do you know what my favorite part of this team is?
Go on.
It's the ghost type resist. That's my favorite part of
Oh, I was
this
just about to say,
team.
yeah, there is no ghost resist or immunity, and it's beautiful.
It is. I think it's modern art, to be
Like you
honest.
look at the charts there, and like just the ghost is just the whole column is empty,
Uh,
and then the one part of the column where you don't want it to be empty and the weaknesses, there is one.
yeah.
But yeah, I will admit, I think a Scarf Spectra after it gets a kill, it is sweeping this team
Yeah,
He's
Merrick's gonna have a
claiming
field
it's
day.
6-0, yes.
literally. But I like to believe the Terra Dark Volcanion will come on some
Going
point,
clutch.
which is concerning to say the least. I think it's again just like All Stars, where it's leaning so far into HO, and then it's like they quit the HO. They got panicky and they were, oh, I need some walls, and then like picked up like
Whatever shit wall was
awful
left.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, like other than the Crocodile, which I'm ignoring because it's a Crocodile. Clef is his only mon with recovery. Like, sure, grassy terrain
No,
is nice,
that's the grassy terrain. Yeah.
but it only goes so far.
Yeah, literally.
And
Clef
like the best
is.
part is your Bronzong can't even get that grassy terrain because it's going to be levitate 90% of the time. Which,
What?
by the way, is his only ground
Ground.
immunity.
Yeah.
Like he has Rillaboom, sure, but like any ground type that's somewhat offensive and doesn't rely on Earthquake, like there's plenty of high horsepower boys out there, is going to be a bit of a challenge to the team. I feel.
Yes.
Should have noticed earlier.
Yeah, yeah. No EQ on Snorlax is wild.
Yeah, thank you.
Now,
That doesn't
personally, I would have.
it hasn't happened yet. It's just before that game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would have gone Dark Lariat, but that's me. But we move on. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I know. I do
I
like
know.
the mons, like individually. I like the Rillaboom. I really like Zora. I want to like Zygarde, but just especially with Terra, the ice is just it's gonna come a lot. And I think
Mm,
the idea for Canyon is cool. It's slightly too slow for the offensive stats, and it's
yeah,
being its
literally.
only defogger is definitely ass because there's no regen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like Rillaboom, Sarah, and Sneasler. They're a nice
Yeah,
trio. But again, it feels like they're a trio that either wants balance or wants HO.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like they are three that can work on either or. But
Yeah.
instead, we've got this weird hybrid again where like they can't get any good balls to have balance. And I don't know if they think it's balanced because they've got a couple defensive mons, but I'm like,
It's
to me,
really not.
balance is you need a recovery move.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
either a
If your
shit
wall
balance
if
or
your
a
wall
shit
can't
HO.
come in on the answer and then recover up, it's not an answer to that mon. Like, say you've got an Urshifu single stroke on the other team, and you bring in your mighty Volcanion that's Terra Fairy, and it tanks an Iron Head. Doesn't die because it's Volcanion, it's got good defensive stats. It doesn't matter because unless you're going to be rest Volcanion, that Urshifu can just leave and come back later. So, like,
Yep.
I
Yup.
just don't see it.
I also
Bad example because there's a Clef there, but, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I also don't like Zero with the two personally. I just feel like Zero generally trends into being a physical attacker, and the other two have to be physical attackers.
And that's fair. My
I,
main thing is, like,
I
the
would
Rillaboom era is nice.
yeah, yeah, it is. But I feel like
Like,
you
all three of them
pair.
just feel like nice ball control
I
and
feel like
pair
you
well with the
pair the Riddler with either or Sneasler or Zira, not both of them, to be honest. I feel like
That's fair.
if I was going to like change this team, I'd go Riddler Sneasler and try and work him some walls where this Zera is,
No, yeah, agreed.
and maybe replace the Zygon as well because I don't like it that much.
I think
Yeah.
Zygon has its place. I do admit. I just don't think it's on this team. I think
No.
grassy terrain helps it because it
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
can work with lefties and grassy terrain, but even then, feels rough. Which also brings me on to another point: is his ice resists. Like, sure, he's got Bronzong and Volcanion, but that Volcanion should be tearing most of the time. And then, like, the ice is scary, you know?
Yeah,
A Weavile is ruining this team if that Volcanion ever leaves.
it's safety
Like,
net.
yeah, like fucking Mamo, Baxcalibur, all these scary ice types are just ruining this team. It feels,
Very much so.
but yeah,
I also feel like it just, to be fair, having Sneasler Dancy is nice. I was gonna say it feels like you got punished from a lack of good picks early, but it's not that bad because you have got Sneasler and Dancy, and those are usually higher priority picks
I was gonna say they're very nice value for where they
for
were
when they were
picked up in the
picked.
draft.
Yeah, literally.
But also having Diancie and Clef feels a bit rough.
Oh,
Fairy is
100%.
crack, yes, but
Mhm.
how far you go with that is questionable.
Yeah.
It feels like this
Yes.
Bronzong is relying a lot on the team, like in the sense of resists,
And
because
just
there's
like
so
last
many.
time, do you want your steel type to be like the one not resisting things?
Yeah. Do
Hmm.
you want your steel type to be a 7 pointer? Not really.
Yeah, no.
Because steel type's gonna have
Yeah.
to come most weeks if you want to play a balanced playstyle, not just run HO, because it's the best type in the game defensively. So
Yeah.
you don't really want it to be shit, and there's not much point in just picking up a cheap one because you want to bring it a lot of the time. Which is why like, a lot of these steel types are so cheap. It's just because like they're actually probably good value for their point tier, but do you want to bring a cheap steel type? Not really. So like they go cheaper because of what you've lost and the opportunity cost of picking this steel type instead of a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's all me spoken out for this team.
Yeah. I mean the final words are hazards. How does it mean?
Yep.
And Mega
Yeah,
Dancy is not hazard control.
no, 100%. Like, it does not matter if you have Magic Bounce on Diancie when any decent steel type, ground type that can set up rocks can also one shot your Diancie.
Literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to Smiley's team. It feels like his trades made it worse. For those that don't know the trades, it was a Hydrapple, a Hooper and Bound, and a Diggersby for the Celebi, Gastrodon, and backs. And yeah, I like the backs personally, but the other two I feel have pushed it in a weird direction. You know,
Yeah. I
again, it's
I
another HO team that then has some budget walls on it for some reason.
yeah, I also really don't like Heatran on HO. Heatran loves the balance scene to play around, and so why have we put it on HO with no momentum?
Oh,
Like, it
literally.
sounds weird because Heatran functions as a wall a lot of time, but Heatran also enjoys momentum to get a 3 second like of leftovers and shit like that, or just other walls to comfort it when the big mean ground type comes in.
Agreed. I don't know what's going on with the Zeus team showing up.
I didn't even notice that. You're fine.
But yeah, I do agree. Like, Coco is the only mon with pivots, I'm pretty sure, into the
Manaphy
clan.
gets U-turn, I think, but do you want a
Oh, fair.
U-turn on a Manaphy? Also, Celebi gets U-turn.
Yeah, true. But like, I don't know. The team feels so
Doesn't
rough in my opinion.
Oh yeah, now I see what you mean with the Zeus showing up. I was like, doesn't the Zapdos
'Cause I
have
know,
U-turn? But then I see it in those Zapdos.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But like the hazards as well. I feel my man has Defog, Honchkrow.
Defog Contra and
and
the
defog Tapu Koko.
yeah, literally that's so ass.
Yeah. That's why this Gastro really confuses me. Like the Diggersby, I didn't really rate, but I feel it was better than the Gastro because at least like it came in, it took the electric move, and then it just attacked something. Whilst what's this Gastrodon going to do? Come in and set up hazards, but like
Gastrodon's gonna come in
you
and
can't win that Gastro ball.
encourage someone to set up with a team that can't deal with the setup.
Mm-hmm.
The revenge killing capabilities of this team are pretty poor outside of Scarf backs / Ice Shard backs and E-Speed Terra Lucario.
That do be very mean though. The
It's very
Terra Lucario
mean,
is a very good one.
but it's all 3 types are resisted by steel, and there
Yeah,
are a decent amount of steel mons that can set up.
Yeah.
Which
or I
just
just
doesn't feel
don't
good.
care about them.
Yeah, I mean, but my main point is about the setup, and
Yeah.
the Scarstron is encouraging.
Was the first team with a Ghost Assist, right? Or did the All-Star have one? No, you
Yeah,
had the you
yeah,
had the
and the
Eternal,
Ghost
but
Resist is a Haunch Crow.
yeah.
It doesn't really count, unfortunately.
What do you mean? He has 52 SPDF. He's eating that Shadow Ball.
Like a snack.
Yeah. Only
It's
once,
also
but
like before this Celebi, his ground resist um was
Was
the
good.
tanky boy known as
hard
Hydrapple.
trapple.
Mind you, didn't like ice moves, but last time I checked, there's not many ground types with ice moves.
No.
Sure, you've got Donphan with Ice Shard, who cares? And then Mamo, but
Well, don't
Mamo
find them
is its own beast. We
both
don't talk about
its
it.
other versions,
Ice
but yeah.
moves as well. But yeah. Celebi, in my opinion, just worse than the Hydrapple by far.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And now his ground resist is like any ground type U-turn, for example, just is going to ruin this team.
Yep.
Mind you, not many have it, but it just feels rough. Knockoff, like, yeah. Celebi has so many weaknesses to where it's your only ground resist outside of a Honchkrow.
Honchkrow.
Just it does not feel nice.
This Honchkrow coming every other week with its ghost resistance and its ground resistance.
Oh,
Bro,
100%.
bro
This
about to
Honchkrow's
pop off.
keeping the team alive.
This Honchkrow wishes its name was Mandibus.
Wow, literally. It could even be like Moltres Galar for this Celebi instead. And like, even though I don't rate that Pokemon, it would still be better than what's been slapped together. Like,
Also, can't not mention the first pick Coco into
Heatran.
Heatran into Manaphy. Like, where's the electric train abuse? Like, don't.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
I just
Iron
like
Bundle was still there.
it's. I remember bro saying in the Discord that like he had to rejig his what he wanted to do with his team because he got a higher priority pick than he thought he was going to. Brother, you could have just stuck with whatever
Like,
you're doing. Like, if you're not picking
I'm not.
Coco with terrain abusers, then Coco's not that good. Like, just
It also just feels like
pick
the
Jolteon.
Coco, the first round Coco is just wild in my opinion as well. Like,
Uh,
if you're not going the terrain,
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
remember in the draft I saw him pick it, and I was like, oh, the good ones bundle and shit's gonna
Mhm.
be gone. And the bundle came
Yeah,
back to him. He just didn't pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's by far the best abuser of terrain, electric terrain.
Yeah, well, the best one you're gonna get. There's obviously also
Valiant.
Valiant,
Would crap.
Yeah.
I
but
think
you're never
Iron
gonna get
Leaves
that.
as well.
Yeah, Terra
Iron
Iron
Leaves has
Leaves would
Terra,
have been insane with a train.
literally.
Yeah. But instead
And
you have an
also,
iron ball.
again,
Looks
helps
really
his
good,
fucking
but
ground
just doesn't
problem
do
that he
shit.
has. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what plan he had, but
I want to
it
know his
seems he
original
threw
draft
his
plan
own
now.
plan out the window, and then instead of picking up a new plan, he just picked up Pokemon.
Yeah. All his
Like,
team
I
wants to
genuinely have
do.
no idea what direction this team goes in.
Yeah, all they want to do is set up Manaphy Tailglow, Bax DD,
Mm-hmm.
SD on whatever the fuck that one is, the Iron Mon.
Lucario, an Iron Boulder,
Yeah, SD on both of those. Even Celebi, like I
SD
think,
Honchkrow.
wants to do a lot of setup as well. Like it's also
Mm-hmm.
function as a defensive wall, but
literally.
And then we have
You've got like the Moxie, Honchkrow and crap.
then we have a Gastrodon.
Mm-hmm.
Slow the tempo right down.
Like the Gastrodon and the Tran just feel so out of place.
Yeah, literally.
It's
I
like
mean,
I'd be like, oh, fair enough, Scarf Eruption Tran maybe, but like that early for a Scarf Eruption Tran feels ass.
Yeah.
And secondly, you have no hazard removal. You can't run a Scarf Eruption Tran because it's going to get chipped like shit.
yeah. Like Scarf Tran can work. You can run Fire Blast, so it's not the end of the world when it gets chipped, but it's just not worth picking up that early if that's your plan on how to use it. It's also just not value for points if that's how you plan on using it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just pick up pick up a Blacephalon. I know Blacephalon's weak to rocks, but like, other than that factor, it's just better in every aspect if you want to run an offensive fire type.
Literally.
I'm pretty sure that shit's still there.
I said, I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I feel this team is above the other two is because with terrain abusing, Manaphy and Lucario, I feel like it can salvage more jammy wins through the power of setup than the other two teams can.
Yeah.
But like that is the only reason it is above them in the list.
I mean, it has like the remnants of a defensive core between Celebi, the Gastrodon, and the Heatran. But I just don't like that as a defensive core. Celebi's
like,
just bad.
I got my Fire Grass Water Core, but like there's no pivot. Well, Celebi pivots, sure. But, like,
Celebi
there's no
U-turn,
real pivoting. There's no. I just don't know. I don't know what the team's doing.
No. How is this Lucario hitting the field? This Lucario is hitting the field either for a Volt switch from the Coco or a U-turn from Celebi, both in which are going to be somewhat hard to come by, in my opinion. Because, like, you get the one chance when the Coco first comes in to do that shit, then Coco's gone. I don't know how Coco's ever getting back out to touch the field because it doesn't want to switch into shit because its defensive stacks are ass. So, like, if you're not setting up the Lucario that early, either that or your Coco ain't hitting the field to, like, God knows when. When you want to whip
Something
out one of
dies,
these
yeah.
setup sweepers, you've got to sack something. It feels so shit. If the setup doesn't go to plan, like sometimes with setup, you can just break a mon or two, and that can be enough to give you an advantage to win the game. But
100%.
it just won't be, because you've got to sack a Pokemon to get your first setup mon in anyway.
This again is where the Honchkrow comes in with his pivot.
Yeah, the VAV U-turn Polskro going off.
Yeah, I don't know what this team does other than
No.
set up and hope I smash you before like you kill me
My
with a
time runs
scarf
out.
on.
Yeah.
I think you could generally name this team 1 to 6 and send them out in order, and that would give you roughly the same amount of chances winning as if you actually tried to seriously play the team.
Oh, agreed. You just bring in one, like maybe Coco. You vault into Iron Boulder. You try and smash, and then like I don't know. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, it is literally just set up and smash,
Also,
which Tran does not
Which, to be
appreciate.
fair, I hate playing against because you never know like what's gonna happen. They just press a DD when you expect him to switch out and you lose the game.
yeah, it
Oh, 100%. But I feel
does make it good.
when
Doesn't
your
make that
whole
doesn't
play
make it good,
style
but makes it ace
is
to play again.
your whole play style is I hope my opponent messes up.
Yeah.
It's just not a good win con.
No, I agree. I never said it
Like,
was good. I just said I hate it.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even say a lot of these mons are like the premium setup mons, you know?
No.
No.
Like Boulder's pretty nice, but again, hard to get that SD up in all honesty.
Every time I see Boulder, it's underwhelming as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Seems
I've
cracked on paper, but
yeah,
rarely ever see it work. Bax
literally.
is the same. Bax on paper is a monster, but you never really see it.
Mhm.
Lucario, again, monster. Terra E speed normal with SD, but how's it going to get the SD up?
Yeah, it's
Like,
very hard to get an SD up on
there's so
Lucario,
many plot
speaking from
holes on the team.
experience. Literally. Also, your potential Walcott all having at least one Quack weakness doesn't feel amazing.
Pretty cool, in my opinion. Like
Sure.
that's like a trophy
Al-
hunting, you know?
Actually,
Lando can OCO all three of them. Grass not U-turn EQ.
EQ literally.
if
Now
you want,
there are only 2 Landos in the game, but
if you want to be
still.
But like they're
cool
not the
blood.
only ones that can do it. Like
No, yeah,
No.
exactly.
ground and grass are not that like uncommon on coverage.
Exactly, because
But
grass comes out of the ground.
bug is a lot harder, mind you.
And
Yeah.
U-turn,
But like,
well, U-turn is given to like so many
Yeah, that's
Pokemon.
U-turn.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
U-turn's given loads. I more meant like a bug move that you can just stay in because like this team could
Yeah.
literally be beaten up by like a solid ground type that then had like just the grass move to hit the Gastro and the Manaphy, a dark move for the Celebi, honestly, would be probably be good enough. Could be a bug move, but also dark move just works. And then something to like hit the backs. And, like,
I've seen
that Mon can just click agility and win.
your scissor set when you play against Bro. It's
Yeah.
it's Trailblaze Bug Bite CC. Easy.
Yo, no Sandtomb, Sandtomb of DC. I remember I witnessed a Mega Scissor Sandtomb SD Roost Bullet Punch once, and it Sandtombed like a Mon that couldn't touch it in, and it just set up all the SDs. It was beautiful. Like I wanted to copy that ever since I saw it, like 6 years ago now. But like, yeah, it's too special for me. I feel. But this might be the time, you know.
but I mean, the compliment to the team is, I guess, there's a good chance you could get a sweep off. You've got enough sweepers to try and do it, so
Literally, Sweeper 1 dies, bring in Sweeper 2.
yeah.
Win from repeat until Sweeper 6 dies.
You
That is
gotta,
the
and,
instruction manual.
and honestly, I can still see this team making it to playoffs because, like, oof,
Oh,
that's where
agreed.
we are.
Like, especially as we're gonna start seeing, there's a lot of very offense and orientated teams
After Sweeper
this
5
season.
dies, who you got for Terra Lucario? You know?
Exactly. But
Yep.
talking about the fact that most of the draft is very offense based, we're gonna go into the reason why the draft is so
Exciting
offense based.
times.
Because someone took Gliscor and Core as their first 2 picks
A
and made
menace to
everyone in the
society.
draft sad.
Yep.
You want a defogger? Well, tough. Alien's got 4 of them. He had dark types last season. It's defoggers this
He has
season.
generally just done this to spite everyone, because every one of those defoggers makes his spike setter, aka his first pick, that also gets defog, very sad.
Yep.
Because
You
he
know what I
has
love, by the way?
defogging away my
With the...
spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
same.
Gliscor is never setting up any hazards. But I do love the no electric immunity of resist outside Gliscor immunity, and then no ground resist outside the flying types. Like
He got 2 of them, to be fair.
any gravity mon sending this team with like the earth powers and EQs, talking about Lando again, baby, or like any electric type that can tear into an ice type, it's just running circles on this team.
Yep.
Like that Blissey is going to be locked into Terra ground most weeks, it feels. And like, though that's not the worst thing for Blissey to be locked into, I feel like Terra Fairy or Water or Steel, Blissey much rather would want to be, you know? Especially Fairy, in my opinion. Terra Fairy is nutty.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, don't understand that on Dozo 2 picks after having a Toxapex.
No,
Oh,
this
Like
is
one
just...
of the
sure
best,
you
if
have
not the
a
best, water defensive mon in the game, and then you just pick a Dondozo, which also a good defensive mon, but you don't need 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Like my man decided he's going stall, and I think it was you that mentioned this beyond. Like outside, like the Corv and the Dondozo, it literally looks like and the other 2, but like it just looks like a Gen 6 stall team,
Yeah.
a Gen 7 stall team. Sorry, with like Pex, Gliscor, Weavile, D Knight, Blissey, and then like some of a fat boy.
Across the generations, the first 7 Pokemon have been on a OU stall team that's done really well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, literally.
including
think
And then you
recently,
have
no, I think
Weezing
Weezing
Galar.
Galar is also used on Stall Team nowadays.
Yeah. So like across the first 8, and then we
Yeah.
have Iron Crown.
Man
Yeah.
googled Stall Team, VGC, and ordinary VGC, Smogon, and these moms popped up, and they're his.
Pretty
Pretty
much.
much. But yeah, it is menacing to have like so many electric weaknesses with no electric resist and just glide score.
He shoots.
Because
He
it comes
glide
so well.
scores.
You'll be happy to know your freeze dry is also going in.
Indeed. You'll be happy to know your Raichu was served, collecting its 6-0.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's removing the Blissey, but we'll pretend Blissey ain't real for a sec.
Fat vibes in it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
With fat vibes.
No, because that Blissey is going ground type. Then it's dying to the surfs.
I'm not sure what kind of Raichu surfs your Blissey's die to, but none of my Blissey dies from Raichu surfs. So I think
This
I
is
think you've
why.
got a defect.
This is why you should have picked
Ooh.
below the Raichu, and you could have slice shocked it into oblivion.
Well, it was too many points. What can I say?
Worth the investment.
Yeah, worth.
Needed my dark type, okay, and
Get
my
rid of one
grounded
of
poison.
your Vermons, you know.
I mean, the Raichu
Yeah.
has same special attack as attack, and he gets fighting moves. But yeah, that's not about this team.
Yeah, but the whole point
Uh,
is you hit on the physical side with Psyshock. It's not about super
Oh, you
effectiveness
meant
against
yeah.
Blissey.
No,
it's
that's fair.
against
Yeah.
hitting the other defense because Blissey's Spadef is insane.
and you can
Yeah.
just nasty plot and boost the side shot.
Yeah,
Very nice.
True.
but
But yeah, I don't really know.
back to
It's
Alien's
just
team.
a stall team. It's a stall team, and like, it's not a bad stall team.
Yeah. Honestly, this is
The-
this is probably the first team where I'm like, yeah, I kind of like it. Like, I don't think it's
Like I said-
good, and there's plenty of like weaknesses, like double water for no reason and other things,
Mhm.
etc. But I understand what it does, and it can do this well.
Yeah. I could see having fun with this team because you're just annoying people. Which he already did in the draft, and he now will be doing in games as well. But it doesn't make it any better.
Unfortunately, not no. It's Weavile's gonna have to have its life though. It's got a Gliscor, Corv, Blissey to get it in, and it's like the only offensive Pokemon on his team that doesn't require setup to get going. It can set
Yeah.
up, but it doesn't require it. So he's going to be having a blast, Mr. Weavile is.
I feel the D Knight as well.
Uh,
It's a nice team D
yeah.
Knight to have on. Just like
Mhm.
sitting in the back waiting for like stall to do its thing, and then comes in, DD's up. But like,
Wait
yeah.
for that fairy
said
to
the
die
only
to
thing I
toxic.
hate about this
Bang!
team.
I've arrived.
I said the only thing I hate about this team is like how Volt Switch spammable it feels. Like I know there's Gliscor, but
You can't rely on one man too much, you know.
it's also like Trick Ring Target, Terra, Electric type of Ice move. Like there's a lot of ways this Gliscor is becoming sad. You know.
Yeah, I do agree that like the team do feel a bit sad if Gliscor goes away. But there's not that many Terra Electrics on the draft, so we'll see.
No, 100%. I think this team will do fine. It depends if Alien uses it as a stall team. Because no spoilers, but first week that Gliscor was not used as if it was on a stall team. The poor thing.
It got knocked off turn 1.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think the best way to use this team is boot spam hazard stack, which is ironic
100%.
considering
Given the 4 defoggers.
he's got 4
Yeah.
defoggers, but
Yeah, literally.
like Weavile runs boots a lot of the time anyway. Like D-Knight runs boots a lot of the time anyway. So like at this point, slap a boots on your Blissey, slap a boots on your Pex. You don't need boots on your Curls, it's only gonna be affected by rocks. Don't need boots on
Yeah.
your Gliscor because it's only affected by rocks. And like set up those hazards, 4 switches with your walls, 4 switches with your offensive mons, knock shit off with Weavile to remove the boots. Like it's good. Like it
And Gliscor could run knock. And the top
yeah.
pegs. There's some premium knockoffers as well.
Yeah,
So
literally.
the disruption is really key there.
Pex and Weavile are
Like
like 2 of the best knockoffs users you could ask for.
Well, this Gliscor, spikes, protect, knock off, EQ, whatever filler last move you want to do. Then like running rocks on the Blissey,
Mm-hmm.
you can easily get all the hazards up and just kind of be an
Yeah,
annoying shit.
literally. Like knockoff spam is so key with that as well. And I just mentioned it, but just want to reinforce that like that's what enables this team to definitely do what it does. Like it has everything you'd ever want for a what do you call it? A hazard stack team, which is obviously just hazards, knockoff, and boots viable mons. But I don't think that's the best way to get the best out of Corv, because I think Corv usually wants to be on balance, but it can do this. And Corv doesn't have to run defog. It's got iron defense body press sets as well that could do the business.
Oh,
Yep.
literally.
I look forward to seeing it used. Not the Corv, but like the team in
Like I said,
general.
I think this team could genuinely be rather high up if it wasn't for the Dondozo and yeah, arguably even the D Knight. Like I said before, the D Knight's nice on this team because don't get me wrong, it kind of is, but not with on the flying types. You know,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
just too many
Yeah.
flying types, and then there's the extra water type for no reason. We've already mentioned this. Blissey's probably going to be ground type most weeks. Like it's a nice team. It's just there's not much play in it. You're relying on your Mon's bulky stats over typing matchups, really, to beat any threats.
You know what? I just
And
thought I'd love
that's
to
not
see on
really
this
how
team.
stall works.
I'd love to see a
Go on.
Mew on this team over that D Knight. I think the pain in the
That's fine.
arse having to prep for every Mew set, like thinking about all the Mew sets, because Mew's got so many sets, whilst dealing with Hazard Stack stall, sounds like a ball ache. And you just stall around, 4 switches, and then bam, in comes fucking Cosmic Power, Body Press, Stored Power Mew, and you just want to die. Want the world to just eat you up as it comes in 6 your team.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, that's the enough talk about stall. To go on to the goat,
Indeed.
Mirak.
The Marak himself. Now,
I've
the man was somewhat cooking with this Blaziken and Spectria. And then I feel like the treads just took in the wrong direction. But yeah.
I have a bone to pick with my Milotic. I think that Pokemon is one of the worst valued Pokemon in the entire league. 13 points for that shit is way too much.
At least it's 13 now. I remember it used to be like 14, 15.
Nah, no way it was anything.
It's slowly dropping off.
So expensive for how little it does. I'm on the wall. I can curse, but it's like one of the worst curse users.
I feel like the reason people pick it is because it's got big Spadef. And if you run Flame Orb, it can do the
If you
defense
run
as well.
Flame Orb,
But like,
you should seek therapy. Seek therapy. Flame Orb's
Mhm.
shit. Seek
Flame
therapy.
Orb was alright back in the day, but I feel now Hazards is getting more and more
Hazards and 8
push.
PP recover? Like, nah.
Oh, literally.
Seek help. Don't run Flame Orb on that shit. Like, you come in, right? In comparison to itself with leftovers, you come in on this EQ. Let's say this EQ's doing 30 after Flame Orb.
Mm-hmm.
You take another 5%
Off Flame Orb.
off Flame Orb, you've taken 35, right? Let's say
Hey, there's
this.
one rock up.
Yeah, no. I'm just comparing lefties to Flame Orb. So, like, let's say like you don't have the Flame Orb, and now you come in to this EQ. I'm not sure, like, how much would Flame Orb
It would do
reduce?
45.
Yeah,
It's 1.5. So do 45, and then you get lefties recovery up to
and
40.
now,
That's
yeah,
5% difference for just not being burned.
5% difference for not, like, yeah, literally. And now, like, you take a special attack, and the burn doesn't even do anything for you. I just don't see the point. I just think you just run leftovers. Like, let's say you come against a attack and it's really not doing that much. Like, I don't know. You're coming in from a rapid spin on Great Tusk, and it's not gonna do much. Like, it's probably just the burn's just hurting you more. The rapid spin might do like 10 to the non-burn, and then like I don't know,
Like, that's like
Six
7% to burn.
to a burn, and you've taken like you've taken like 7 extra damage for no reason because of this burn. And like you're almost thinking to yourself, shit, it was Odo Rapid Spin, but do I need to already recover? Because like if I come on that next attack and then I take burn again, like am I getting 2-shot? You just take so much unnecessary damage. Like, oh, you want to scold because like it's not worth recovering yet, and it's you don't want to flip turn because like what if he stays in? Then you want to fish for a burn, and you've taken another 5%. So you've a net loss of 10 because you could have had the lefties. It's just so bad. My wolf.
Anyway, going back to the whole team. I'm gonna put you back in your little box so you don't
Don't
my
use
logic. It's our first balanced team, and it pains me it's this far down because you look at all the mons involved, and individually they don't look too bad. You know, Blaziken and Spectre, I love being on balance. Treads is nice on balance. Milotic, as much you hate it, does work well on balance if you're just running it as a Spadeffel. You know, like not budget Vaporeon, but like your Vaporeon without water absorb and wish passing.
That's fucking
You've
Gucci
got
Vaporeon.
mm,
Like costs way
pretty
too
much,
fucking much and doesn't do that much extra.
yeah. Your Umbreon, always nice. Like Staraptors are breaking. Like honestly, the teams were very nice, but then you start looking at it as they're all together, and you start realizing that you have Treads and Forest on the same team. That feels a bit stupid. And then Gudra is there. Don't know what he's doing, but he's there. But we have a hatred towards Gudra, but we move on from that because I'm sure he's not that bad. But then you look at it all and you realize 2 of his better mons are weak to ground. And then you go, oh, that's fine. He's got a grass type. And then you go, oh, wait, no. Grass poison type. But then you go, oh, no, it's fine. He's got a flying for the ground immunity. You then realize it's a Staraptor that's going to be killing itself off Brave Birds and Double Edges most weeks.
Nah,
And
it's
then you
coming
go, oh,
intimidate
shit.
defensive.
Like, bro is literally getting swept by any ground type that has EQ. Like, we mentioned it before on a few of the teams being a bit weak to ground and relying on, like, a single mediocre flying Pokemon to deal with the ground. And this team did that and then some with the Staraptor.
I know, we all said shit about the Mega Venusaur last season, and look what it did. Maybe Merrick is about to pull off some shit.
No,
No,
No? Okay.
no.
pipe down, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you like why bro's ass.
Oh, I know why, bro.
No
Don't worry.
boots, no fucking leftovers. I'm here with my Megastone and my mid
On,
stats.
just like to point out a team that is defoggers are again this amazing Staraptor and a chicken, and it has 2 spinners, which
Yeah.
do not appreciate like getting spin block. I feel like there's plenty of the more bulkier ghost types that can take like that are the rapid spin blockers, like Annihilate, Pekkarunt, the bloody Skelly Dirge. Like a lot of these spin blockers that don't care too much about like the knockoff. These ones don't really have the best matchups against. Where someone can hazard stack on you and just spin block. And you can't do much because your Venusaur's getting shat on. Your Flammable Milotic's getting shat on. Like, a lot of your mons are getting shat on because you don't want to run boots on any of these mons really outside Staraptor and treads at a push. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's balanced, but then it has so many holes that are preventing it from popping off.
Indeed.
Yup.
It almost feels like its balance is too slow. Like that sounds crazy for like coming from me, but like it's realistically only got 3 offensive bonds, but a whole lot of Pokemon. I'm just like, what do you actually do? What actually is the purpose of a fortress when you have a whatever it's
Iron
called,
Treads?
Iron
Yeah.
Treads?
Literally.
Like I love Mr. Wiggle, but it's probably just a waste of 2 points that could have been put into a better Pokemon when you have Milotic.
Yeah, literally.
Like especially when like Mr. Wiggle ain't Terra. I feel like all of the shit at the end could have just like put into a good Pokemon or a couple of good Pokemon to round off the team nicely. Because honestly, the first 3 aren't that bad. I don't mind the first 3. And I don't mind the Umbreon with it. And as much as I say the Milotic is overpriced, it's still going to be a bulky water type for this team.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But after the Staraptor, I feel like it just falls apart. It's like, why? Why did this shit appear?
Mm-hmm.
Even the Staraptor, to an extent, I don't think you're in that desperate. This is in pick order, right? Or is it not?
This is
Yes.
pick order.
Yeah. I don't think on your 5th overall pick you're that desperate of like a physical breaker, which is what Staraptor is. I feel like you could have rounded out the team better at this point in the draft. And I feel
Oh,
like
100%.
the
Like, there's plenty of physical breakers
the
in there, honestly.
prioritization of some of these picks gimped later on picks because the good stuff you may wanted to pick up have gone now.
Oh, 100%.
But in the end, he still has Blazing and a Spectre who can just run through your team out of nowhere.
Yeah. Blake and Spectrum can just win games on its own.
Yeah.
And he has pivoting options to get them in, which is always a
Yep.
bonus.
Oh, literally. Like, he's got
So yeah,
plenty of pivots, which is nice.
it's not a
It's
dog
just,
shit or like a horrible team, but it has issues that are easily exploitable.
Yeah.
I say, if it wasn't for the massive ground weakness,
Yeah.
it would already bump it up. But, like, being weak to ground, having issues with hazards, which, fun fact, most hazard stackers are ground types, which does not bode too well. Like, I don't know, it solid team to an extent, and then it just falls off a cliff when you start realizing that it has all these like large flaws.
Yeah.
We also want to mention it doesn't really appreciate like the Venusaur does save it from this issue. Like fighting types also used to run through it before the Venusaur came along.
Yeah. What is
But
the
yeah,
Terra Umbreon? Which will most likely be Terra every week, because do you really want to run Fortress over Umbreon as Terra?
oh, 100%.
100%. In fact,
And like
Terra Emblem's
Terra
fine, but like,
Umbreon or Fairy Umbreon is very mean.
yeah.
but then unironically, you're getting rid of your
Dark
only
typing.
ghost resist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
also true.
like boom, my Umbreon won't die to your CC now, but like, oh shit, my ghost resist is my Staraptor, which is also
Yeah.
my only ground resist. Like, this
Yeah.
Staraptor is doing so much, you know, and all
Just
it wants to
taking a
do
book
is
off the Honchcross
kamikaze.
book.
Like, yeah, all it wants to do is go kamikaze with Brave Bird and Double Edge, but it can't do that because the whole team's relying on it for Earthquake, arguably the only reliable defog, and fucking Ghost immunity when the Umbreon transforms.
Yeah. I,
But
I,
yeah,
I want to see the Mega Venusaur shine, but I don't think it will this season.
indeed. Talking about shining, we all happy to move on.
It's very much so.
Yeah.
We have a very good player piloting a very questionable team, as always.
He wouldn't
Whether
have
That's
it
his
I'll
any
trademark.
other way.
100%. Like, first pick to
This is
you is a bloody menace.
this is the
Like,
first time I take a proper look at this team.
we had an undrafted Chiyu for 2 seasons in a row, and then it's gone first pick back to back for some reason. Like, the Chiyu stocks are up at the moment.
Yeah, but the Chiyu users are not going places with the Chiyu, as far as I'm aware.
Especially when your pivoting options are. Actually, I don't even know because we got the wrong team in. Give me a second. Talk away, boys.
Pivoting options are in the
There are no
bin.
pivoting options.
We
Apparently,
have
it's an Incineroar.
we have teleport on P2, and I think that's it. I think that's the only pivoting option.
Does Starmie not get flip turn?
Not as
I
far
think
as
it does.
it might. It might. It gets
Do you
But I
teleport
want to
don't
run
really
itself
like
flip
actually.
turn on?
It gets
Do you
teleport
want to
itself.
run? Yeah, but do you want to run that on Starmie?
Teleport? Not really.
No.
I mean, Zombie used to run some defensive sets, but like it's not got the stats these days to keep up anymore.
Wasn't that in like Gen 4?
No, it used to run it in Gen 6. It run a defensive spin set.
Oh.
Raycon 2's not even showing up on the util, but like, yeah, it is literally just P2 and Starmie. But I feel like this Starmie being Terra, which by the way, pretty nice, despite it being your fastest Pokemon at 115. Very rough for his speed control. It's very nice for the value, in my opinion. Like, the 11-point Starmie is a lot better than the Inteleon Terra we saw earlier, I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for value for money, yeah, I'd say so.
Mhm.
I'd say he's got a lot of bullshit. Like, he has the
Yeah.
funny teapot that can do the Carmine shit. He
Mhm.
has the turtle, that can do the Carmine 9 defense.
Yeah.
He
Can
has,
Trick Room teleport into this pincer, Mega Pincer, which can be annoying.
he has some
He has
weird,
Mega Heracross.
he
Yeah.
has sand. This is
weird
like,
sand use.
what if I want to beat you and I don't give a shit what you're doing, but like it was good, and
Mm.
I think that's what this is really. It has a lot of offensive synergy. In terms of walling, I think it's P2 and prayers, but
It is the super glue of P2, yeah.
yeah, my P2 is going to super glue this team, and it's going to be gnarly. And we have the Firefish, and the Firefish can like shit on teams all on its own. So like, if you honestly sack a Pokemon to the gods, bring out Firefish again, rinse and repeat until you've killed enough Pokemon for one of your other Pokemon to do something.
Pretty much. Like, you could honestly just run a check button on every mon, but the Chi-Yu.
literally, bang, and Pichu, fucking, what'd you call it? Choose back again, baby. It's pressing the fire move, and you're dying.
Also, you mentioned Trick Room Heracross. I feel like that thing is slower than most wolves still.
75
Faster,
speed
do
is
you mean?
pretty decent. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
As in slower
faster
in
but
Trick
slower
Room.
in Trick Room. Yeah,
Yeah.
just from minus nature, minus speed, EVs,
But
IVs.
like,
What if
most
people?
Corvs do that for U-turn anyway. And like, that's probably one of the main things you're most saddest about is when the Corv comes up. Same with the
Well,
slows. All the slows that Psychic into the next dimension. Like, I feel like Trailblaze SD Heracross is probably going to be
well, it's just nice to have the option.
the way to
Like,
go.
if they are gonna have like slow shit walls, and just don't do it. But you know, it's
No, yeah.
there if need be.
yeah, his team has a lot of options to sweep.
Oh, 100%. I feel this Drake assault feels weird. Like, I get why it's there, but I
Agreed.
feel like the Drake's already there to use the sand.
I think Dracosaurus is kind of ass in general.
Nah, I
He is like
disagree.
mostly ass if you look at his
Yeah,
image.
exactly.
He
Looks
is
like a
just
Pixar
ass.
mom. Oh, I think his stats are underwhelming looking at it now. Never took a proper look at them, but
Yeah, but I
they're
guess
quite underwhelming.
Bolt
He
Beak.
gets the double speed.
Bolt Beak and
Yeah.
Huzzle.
Yeah, literally,
And
like
what? Sorry.
hustle.
Hustle.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like
But
Scarf
that's
Hustle
when
is
he's
fucking annoying.
yeah, that's when he's not running the sand, whatever it's called, sand boost
Oh.
speed thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a very random
Feels
ass team.
feels like a KL team. I've built my
Yeah.
Yeah.
bullshit, and I hope you spend more time worrying about my team than like planning to beat me because
Imagine if this man drafted a like insane team for once.
I just think it's his playstyle, really.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he could also draft one of the balanced teams that I and us would probably be like iconic for using, but I'd do well with it. But I don't think it'd improve him that much because this is just how he wants to play. He wants to smash. He hasn't come to
Yeah.
switch around for 30 turns. Yeah, no, he hasn't come to be beyond. He's come to be
Doesn't have time
KL.
for that. Who has time to play a 100-turn Pokemon game?
Oh, every day of the
Literally.
week,
When my PU can just send you every day.
especially when you give me toxic and U-turn. What can be better?
With regen?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Having the time of my life.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about the team.
I hate it, but
Like,
it'll do something.
yeah,
Yep.
literally.
I hate it, but I don't think it's. Well, I do think it's. I think it's
I don't think it's
not
objectively
standard.
bad.
Yeah. Literally, that's what I'm trying to get to. I think he'll do shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to
But
pilot. That's what I'm gonna say. I think I wouldn't want to be personally in the position where I got to pilot the shit, but like it can do stuff and it will win games.
Yep.
that's valid. But yeah, moving on, we have Joshua with Hoops Peaks Deoxys. The Mega Glade. nice first pick, and then I don't know why second pick Gren, but yeah,
It's one of those funny
I
HO teams that's really slow.
And only has one defogger in Moltres. Or hazard removal in general.
Uh, the the poison rock thing gets mortal spin. That's
Oh,
removal,
right. Yeah,
but it's not
doesn't show
exactly
up
the
on a dog.
removal you want to use.
No.
indeed.
Primarina Terra is very scary though.
Yeah, it's very good.
But also, do you want to get rid of his fairy type? Because that's like one of the main things.
I
But even
think,
then, terroring into draining kids is so nice on him.
yeah, literally. Also, I think it's one of these
Same with Roden,
things
maybe.
where, like, let's say there's an electric type that's gonna turn up, and you put your Terra's ground. You may never actually press your Terra ground, but at no point are they thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go to my electric type and beat it now," because it's there threatening you.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially it's commoning up.
Yeah, literally. That's one of the best parts about these Pokemon that have a good typing to begin with, but then also have Terra, is you threaten the Terra, but you don't actually have to always use it.
Yeah, just look at Terra Water Gliscor and OU.
Literally.
Yeah.
Everyone's always second guessing the ice move on him. But I don't know. The team feels alright. I feel the Moltres feels a bit rough as your only defogger when one knockoff and bam,
It's dog shit.
the rocks are scary.
Yeah.
I need this
Like I
man to
think the
stop
team would have
picking
benefited
Mudsdale.
more. I think he would have benefited more from the Moltres being Terra
Yes.
than the Prim. I think the Prim's a very cool Terra, but I think the Moltres would have been much nicer for the team. But yeah, I do agree. Mudsdale, absolute ass, and I don't know why it keeps getting picked up. Like, wow, I have stamina. Very cool. It's like one of the few ground types that either doesn't have spin, doesn't do like disruption and knockoff shenanigans, or doesn't have like hazards galore. You know,
Yeah, literally.
he has the rocks, he has body press, and he has EQ. Like that's his identity.
It's an extremely greedy ground type. Like, a lot of the ground types will provide immense amount of utility for the team, but he doesn't really. I also don't like stamina when you're switching in, because the majority of the time, the physical attacker uses their attack and then fucks off. And then, wow, you've got +1 defense. But they've probably gone to their slow bro and they're going to scold you, so what's that going to do for you now?
100%.
Not much. The lack of
Yeah.
pivoting options on this team also hurts a bit. It's only really Moltres and Flip Turn Prim.
You got Raging Bolt and Gren.
True, but well, Raging Bolt can come defensively sometimes and Volt switch out, but Gren's never gonna come in defensively and gain you momentum. It can just continue the cycle of
Oh yeah,
momentum
yeah. But
offensively.
he's like that. He's that revenge killer momentum kind of thing.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
comes
that's
into
right.
revenge. If they double out to the wall, you just U-turn to punish him.
Also, you look at his team in the bottom 3 months, you just don't imagine ever coming to a game. Because especially Leafeon, Regigigas, those two should never come. And then
I think
maybe
Mages
there's
can do
a
quite
use for
okay.
Miss Mages, but
I don't think
definitely the last two, they
I
have no
Willow
use.
Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Shadow Ball is quite a nice set.
yeah. I've
Like
seen
with Fairy.
points spent worse, to be honest. Like, I don't
Oh,
mind Regigigas as
I think the
your,
Mud set is way worse
yeah,
than
same.
Galactus.
I don't mind Regigigas as your Ghost Immunity. It's only 4 points. It's like you bam, you don't want to bring a ghost type now because I've got my fat ass Regigigas who's going to Toxic Store you because he can.
Okay, fair.
And Leafeon's
I
defense
And
is
he
one.
didn't
literally,
realize Bro is only 4 points.
Yeah, Leafeon's defense is like 130 and it's got like, oh, granted he's only got 65 HP, but like when you're looking for a better ground answer because your ground answer is Moltres, and
Yeah.
what if they have Stone Edge, you're going to die, then Leafeon can do that quite well. Especially since most ground
yeah.
types are physical attackers.
And to add on to that, Leafeon is 2 points, and I think it's more valuable than Regigigas.
Agreed.
Oh, he's only 2. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some.
I assume
His
both of them
mages
would
is
be
like
more
4
points.
or 5. Man, the
Like,
Mudspell is like fucking 8 or something, I swear.
yeah, literally.
It's
Like,
way too expensive.
those bottom 3 Pokemon are 11 points compared to the Muspel 8. Like, that's so much more
Yeah,
value
no, that's
than that
true.
Muspel
Yeah,
is
yeah.
providing.
I
I
think
like
this guy
Grenade.
sniped both
Cool.
of us as well, because I wanted Gren, and I think Beyond wanted Raging Bolt.
I wanted Gren and Raging Bolt,
Yeah.
but I always want Gren, so like, what can you do?
Yep. Gren very cool.
But yeah, like the team like feels it can do something, which is
Yes. Yeah, literally.
It's definitely not a bad team. Like,
nice. I think
I can do shit.
it's semi-balanced,
Mhm.
but I think it leans more to a bulky offense. For like, I look at this Melmetal, I look at the Raging Ball, and I look at the Prim, and arguably even the stupid Horse. Like, they're all very bulky
Yeah.
and rely on lefties as a recovery, which is always a bit of a concern, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's rough. But I feel like this team, compared to other teams, is I feel like I could see him bringing a full six, but fit into an offense team. But he
100%.
could also bring a balanced team with his Pokemon. Which to me, what separates this team from like some of the lower ones is I can see a good offense team made from this, and I can see a good balance team made from this. Granted, the balance team isn't as good as some of the teams maybe further up, but it's there, and the walls feel like they were worthwhile to be picked.
Oh, literally.
Whereas the other teams lower down feel like they were HO teams greased by walls that were just randomly put in.
Yeah. Like I said, outside a slight weakness to like a good psychic type, I feel like AV Melmetal is his best bet against like a strong psychic user.
Yeah,
Like Gren, yeah, sure, but I'm more talking like taking hits, not do I risk bringing in my Gren on this Tapu Lele?
the way it's
Like,
getting sent.
yeah, literally. Like, other than that, the team is relatively defensively sound as well compared to other teams.
Hmm.
Like, I agreed with you as well with the ground. Again, ground just seems to be ruining people because they get that flying type that might just be budget flying type and then call it a day. But outside the Moltres, maybe I can just dodge a Stone Edge to
To live its
game.
best
Like,
life.
yeah, literally.
I
Win
feel
a
like,
game, dodge a Stone Edge, get a Willow off. That's
yeah,
it's pride.
I feel like some people just slap their team into the type matchup thing, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
says, "You're alright, Chief. You've now
Yeah, no
got a ground
resistance.
immunity."
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
what do
literally.
most ground types get? Stone Edge. Is Moltres a good ground solution? No, it's going to die.
Literally. You wouldn't bring up your Charizard as a good ground type,
Like,
ground immunity.
literally.
Like even going to the back to the bullshit gravity, like ground spamming shit. Like I feel there's only a handful of mons that can do it anyway. But it
Yeah.
does just make me chuckle how many teams are so weak to that bullshit. But like he does have relatively bulky mon in Mudsdale for the EQ users that Moltres gets sent by. But like again, it's a Mudsdale. It's not going to be around forever. You know,
No.
especially when like Melmetal, fucking Roaring Moon, Raging Bolt, and what's its face, Glim, do not appreciate ground types at all. And like you could argue again, Mismagius and Leafy on there, it's the backup for ground types. But I feel like they just don't come that often.
No. I think there is like the point to consider of, do you really want to bring this Pokemon? Like, it may make your charts look good. You may be like, oh, I've got my ground resistant by Leafeon, but like, you're then bringing a Leafeon. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
it
And it's
doesn't
not like
feel good.
ground's that type that you go, you know, you look at your Great Tusk and you don't go, oh, I think
Oh no,
Leafeon.
I'm gonna have to bring
I better not.
Bro. What a
I better
shame.
not bring Great Tusk in case Leafeon comes. You never have that moment. You look at your
Literally.
ground type and you're like, ah, yeah, he's got a Raging Bolt. I need to bring my ground type. You never look at the ground type and go, oh, the Leafeon's there. I can't. And therefore, this Leafeon is just like locked into being like, hello, friends. I'm here to rule this ground type.
Yeah.
Like him or Mudsdale are going to be ironically, the ground and electric answers most weeks. And that is a bit depressing in my
Yeah.
eyes.
It's not too bad because you got the quad resistant Raging Bolt for the
Raging
electric
Bolt,
types,
literally.
but
That's why I feel like Mudsdale can sit on the bench most of the time. But I
yeah,
also know what Joshua's like, and that Mudsdale is not sitting on the bench half the time.
that's his homie. Bro's
literally.
dream team is Licky Licky, Mega Aggron, and Mudsdale. Like, how can you win? How can you win against
Indeed.
those troopers? Bring back the dream team, man. Bring back the dream team. I want to see them line up.
But we've got the last one in our C tier, and in the bottom half of the league, we have my man with Detroit Duots. These first few mons are such scary beasts. Like Valiant into Darkrai feels so nice, and then Blood Moon feels like man just put his foot on the gas when it comes to making HO, and that's a okay. And then like Alola Mola, who we all know I have a great love for, is very suited on like the HOE teams. And then you have Gouging Fire, who's bulky as fuck, can tank hits, sets up with DD bullshit. Like, I don't know, team feels nice.
Team Indeed feels nice, but
It
after
it
that
just then
5,
starts falling off. Yeah.
I think like he forgot how to build his Pokemon team, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what steel type I need? Magnezone. No, you did not need Magnezone, friend. You really
Yeah,
did.
no.
No one needs Magnezone.
Same with this Beedrill. Beedrill fine, but like you've already got Gouging Fire who does not appreciate rocks.
Mm-hmm.
You now slap another one on there that does not appreciate rocks. Like Mola, in all honesty, doesn't really appreciate hazards because unlike the bros, well, the slows, should I say, he doesn't really like running boots. Like I feel
Yeah.
Rocky is his home and true. Rocky lefties or AV are just too strong most of the time to really be running boots.
Although his hazard control is complete dog shit, because like Stealth
Oh,
Rock's only
literally.
on Gliscor and the NC, you don't want to bring those mons every single game. And
And that's his
without
only defog as
bringing,
well, really.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
Gliscor.
Without bringing Gliscor, you can't really bring Mega Beedrill, because how many times can it go in? 4 times on rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
So
Like
4 U-turns or poison jabs, and the thing is gone.
this Mega Beedrill just never wants to come because the hazard control is so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, literally.
And it's not like it's a one-off Pokemon that's weak to rocks. She's got the gouging as well, so the rocks are just coming.
Yeah.
You're going to face rocks.
Yep.
I mean, you're
And
going to
Definitely.
face rocks
just
anyway because
because he
rocks are good. I just feel like, I
I
don't
know
know.
the offensive is very scary the first months, and then it just does fuck all after that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you replace the bottom 5 with, like, I don't know. Is you can find a spinner to fit your somewhat of an offense team, like, I don't know, if you just slap in something like an AV Cyclozar just to spin, U-turn, and get momentum, shit like that, would have been good on this team, just to
Yeah.
remove hazards. Even like a Don fan would. I feel bad saying a Don fan would have been good on this team because like it's not that amazing. But like, do you?
I feel like the Ursuline Blood Moon's better than the Don fan.
Yeah, I'm more
Also,
just thinking
Yeah,
of a
for the
rapid spin.
but
also yet again, no good ground resist.
I think
Well, you got
with the
Gligar. He's
Mons he was
good, but you just
lining
don't
up,
want to
Yeah,
bring
yeah, but
bro.
yet again, you don't want to bring Gligar every single game, do you?
No, no.
I
Oh, to be
think this
honest,
Gligar is coming every game.
same. I think this Gligar comes
I
every
think it is
game.
those first
It
5
has
and
to for
Gligar.
him, but you don't want it to.
I don't know. It's not the
I'd also
end
like
of
to
the world
mention,
to bring him, but
like, outside the Mola, the Ice move's going in hard.
yeah. I think the way this team plays is just like first 5 Gliscor smash. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with the Gliscor, maybe you can replace something with the Beedrill, especially you've got the Defog on Bro, but you so
I
hard
also
to
don't know if you
like
mentioned it.
bring the others
Talking
at
about this
free.
Gligar that's holding the team together,
Yeah,
he is also, once again, the only ground immunity. Whilst man has a quad
That is
ground
what I just said,
weakness,
yeah.
and yeah. Sorry, I was being
Yeah.
talked to.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
the
no, that's fine.
Gligar does feel it's going to have a permanent role on the team as defog
Yeah.
and ground immunity. And I feel like this team is very susceptible to knockoff spam, which
extremely.
the Gligar does not appreciate.
No. But
Like
Gliscor's
knockoff
just
that
gonna come
boots.
into that shit anyway, and then he's gonna U-turn out, and he's gonna pray that one of his HO boys can just smash something, and then next time Gly comes in, he's just a sack. But like that's just how this team has to play. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to make progress in the tiers in which your offensive ones are in, otherwise you're just gonna lose because you don't have the defensive core to afford to not make progress. But luckily, Gligar gets all the hazards. So send
Yeah.
in bro, set up the hazards. If you've got a free turn, you turn out, whatever. Just start smashing and just see where it takes you. Run boots on your gouging fire and forget about hazard removal. Set them up and forget about it.
I would say man has the grace of having some of the best setup mons.
Hmm.
Like Carmine Blood Moon is insane. Nasty Pot Darkrai, pretty nutty. Iron Valiant, very insane. Gouging, very good. Like these are premium setup mons, which can also all run like alternative sets to the setup.
Yeah,
Oh, they're not one trick ponies.
no, 100%. I mean, these are Valiant, Moon, Darkrai, and Gouging, like just sick for premium Pokemon. Really, like
Mm-hmm.
you're happy to have these Pokemon on pretty much any team. So
Yeah.
slapping them in the HO team is not going to ever be a bad thing.
No, literally.
But I think this is probably the most predictable team in the league. You see, you're going to bring the first four, Mola and Gliscor, 90% of the time. And honestly, if you
You
see one
think
of the
Blood
first
Moon?
first four missing, you're just happy. You don't care that you're
Mm-hmm.
probably not prepped for, like, I don't know, you haven't prepped for, heaven forbid, the Ice Cube. Like, oh, who cares? Because the fucking gouging's not there, man. I'm not getting smashed by DG gouging. I don't give a shit.
It's also like what you call it. I can see the Ursaluna Blood Moon sitting on the bench a lot of the times because of Gligar, and that does concern me.
I hope not, for his sake.
I hope not too, but I can
Yeah.
see it happening, and I'm scared of it happening.
That's definitely, I could see it happening, not it should happen. Like, I don't think that does
Yeah,
happen. Like, I think double ground ain't that bad. You see it a lot in OU nowadays.
yeah.
You see double ground. Like, it's not the end of the world, especially when you need those two Pokemon anyway. It's like, fuck it,
And
just do
especially
it.
when the hazard stackers and the best spinners are both ground.
Yeah.
Very common to see the grounds roll up.
I kind of like water in that sense. Where, like, I think ground and water are the two types, well, and flying, the three most likely to be duped in a draft, and you're okay with duping these types, really. Because
I
there's
think
just a.
steel is same as well.
Yeah, no, I
Also,
agree. I agree. Good point. I think that's the fourth.
This man doesn't have a steel type. What do you mean?
He's got his fucking Megazone, bro.
No, it doesn't exist.
Well, we wish it didn't exist, but unfortunately, it's there and it's menacing. He's there holding his balloon, like,
He's
I'm
gonna
not
fuck a
dying
Corviknight
to the
and like
first
a
difficult.
Skarmory, and it's never coming again.
The best thing he's gonna do is gonna make one of those two bring a shed shell or
Yeah,
whatever it's called. Yeah, I think it's shed shell. That's his
yeah, yeah.
impact.
Yep. Doesn't
That,
even have to come.
no,
oh, 100%. But like, the same thing could be made with fucking Magneton, personally.
yeah,
Like, do you know what the worst part about Magnezone is, though? Is how slow he is. A lot of times, you see him with the Corv, and you're like, ah, fuck it, I'm just going to run a
max speed
U-turn.
curve and U-turn it. Yep.
Not even max speed. Because, like, you know that he has to be max speed, and at that point, like, unless he's doubling into it, like, it's going to be hard for him to get that Magnezone in to trap the Corv, if that makes sense. Because, like, you can U-turn on his switch to it.
Yeah.
On top of that, Magnezone, unless it's specs, is not going to probably one-shot a Corv.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I can see why it would be Shed Shell, makes sense. But I could also just see the person be like, nah, fuck it, and just running a U-turn.
Also,
I
there's
think if he made it his Terra, though, by the way. I don't know what his Terras are. I mean, I've actually got his Terras down. Do you want to check GPA for me, Mr. Smarrow?
Yeah, 1 second. There are captains.
If it is the Magnezone, then I might take it
Taking
back on the slander. Oh, it is. It's
taking a
Magnezone
year to fucking
Diancie.
load.
Magazine who,
Like,
sorry?
Magnezone being his Diancie. I
Dance
don't
Terror
rate
is
the Diancie at
nice.
all.
No, I like
Really?
it.
You like it?
Yeah, his defense stats good. Really good.
Yeah.
I just feel like it just plonks itself in front of you.
Yeah.
But,
It plogs itself
It
in
do
front of
does.
you and it becomes not a rock type. And that sounds amazing.
nah, fair. No, I do like the Magnezone though, in the sense of Terra fighting into body press on a lot of steel types. It's very strong.
Yeah, but then your steel
You can
type's
also just
not
Terra
a steel
ground.
type anymore.
Oh, 100%. But like, I feel like Magnezone does not fulfill the roles of a steel type. You're not bringing him in on the psychic moves. You know,
Yeah, his defense stats aren't that bad.
they're not bad, but like, you've got other jobs to do. You know, different places to be.
Yeah, like here and being flamed for being shit.
Exactly. See, I know you'd understand.
He's come to body press the Ferrothorn. Menacing.
Well, no, you can just Terrafire.
Well, true.
I'm hoping he gets Terra Blast. Oh, he does. Yeah, see, that could be kind of huge. I like it actually. I take it all back.
Destroy with Ferrothorns.
I think he needed another steel
please.
type to go with a Terra Magnezone. But
Oh,
like,
100%.
I think honestly, talking about it, Fortress would have been really nice on this team.
Yeah, it would. It would have been very nice on this team. I 100% agree. I mean, I'm hating on us for this Magnezone, not because I don't think a Terra Magnezone is good. Just what he represents is the lack of steel types, and that
No, no, 100%.
is shit. But in summary, I see the first 4 mons and like the other two that come are just sacrifices to the gods to get the other two back in again. And like you chose two Pokemon with momentum, so like it's probably just gonna work. Like come in first time, flip turn. Come in second time, flip turn. Or if you die, you die. So be
Mm-hmm.
it. The HO mon's gonna try and do his shit. And if after giving like 4 different turns of momentum, you can't win with your HO team, it wasn't meant to be.
Yep.
Pretty much.
So he press toxic on every mon.
Oh no, you don't, because you got HO. So you lose. But sometimes you just gotta lose. But you have Valiant, so like you're probably not going to lose. You're going to win with your HO team. Send in the other lad to blow shit up. Valiant comes in because they had to sacrifice like the poison type that was coming into War Bro to the gods, and Bro claims his sleep. Easy. If there was a team for like Valiant to be on, I like this team. I think Valiant serves very well on HO. Like,
I think leading Gligar and getting those hazards up nice and early for Valiant could also prove very nice.
agreed.
One thing it feels like it's missing is a strong, again, funny that we're saying it, electric type outside Magnezone. Because, like, though maybe it is his plan, trapping a defogger with Magnezone could be strong. Like, I feel like him leading, Gliscor getting hazards up, and then them just, like, going into their defog and just defogging away the hazards on your U-turn just feels like shit.
Oh, 100%. But Glycerin does get taunt. He's relatively fast, so if you want to run an offensive one, you can taunt on a defog. It's got 85 speed, if I remember correctly, so like that's faster than most defoggers.
Indeed, it does have 85 speed, friend.
You know, food for thought.
Yeah.
OP. Still with spikes, taunt, U-turn.
Mm-hmm. That's valid. But anyways, everyone's happy talking about HO Smash.
Yep.
We have our first B tier. We're officially halfway through. Fuck me. We have Tom, who, despite picking 2 dragon types at the start, which is a bit questionable if you ask me, the rest of the team feels kind of nice.
Is that a wall core I see? It's been so long.
I know.
Regenerator? What's this?
Regenerate on terror as well. Ooh,
Yes, very scary.
scary because it's gonna stall you.
Yes.
Scary because you're about to be hit by the hardest of toxics. Boom,
Mhm.
headshot.
So the only problems I have is the Lapras and the Thunderous Eye. Like, you have a Rotom Heat, brother. Why does this Thunderous Eye have to exist?
Yeah.
And then, like, Lapras is just, well, a Lapras. And again, with the Walking Wake, I feel like it just does not need to be on the team. But
Indeed.
outside those little nitpicks, I like the team.
There's also an Aggron when you already have a Age Slash. Mega
Yes.
Aggron, that is.
Yeah. They serve different purposes though, so I don't mind too much.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, if it was a dupe to have, it would be a steel type, but I prefer if it was a steel type with another type that was needed instead of just a pure steel type.
No, I agreed.
I don't know. The one thing I don't like is the lack of hazards. Like he only has um, Garchomp and Mega Aggron, and like you don't want to bring Garchomp, Spikes, and Stealth Rocks every week, or one of the two. You
I
want
feel
No,
the
like
shit offensive, and
Agron's
like
a nice hazard stack alone.
yeah,
yeah,
but then
In
you
the sense of
always
that's
or not
rocks.
always, but then you either don't want to bring the Aegislash, or you're stuck with two Steel types, like you just said.
yeah, it's a minor inconvenience. I think it's
Yeah,
okay. I
I
think
think with how this team plays, it doesn't care too much about hazards.
yeah, that's true.
Like his only interaction with hazards in most weeks is going to be go gadget mandibuzz, defog away.
Mhm.
Like most weeks, it's going to be chomp and wake beating you up with Aegislash breaking down any wall core you wanted to have, whilst pivoting into Tangrowth and Mandibuzz, which are two of the fattest shits known in existence, and just like vibing until they win.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said, I don't think the team's happy with hazards because like both Rotom Heat and Mandibuzz are weak to hazards once their boots get knocked off, and same with Thunderous Eye, arguably. Outside that, I feel the team has direction,
Yeah,
and
is this the first team we saw without a major ground weakness?
it was exciting. Yeah, the Tangrowth does do that to
Yeah,
ground types. Sad it is his terror, but like,
he still has two flying types and a levitate one.
100%. I feel the potential for this team is very high. I feel like it just went a bit off the straight line, but other than that, it feels quite good.
yeah.
You know,
Still an alien, you know. He's whipped out his 10 dupe types, but he's got the rolls.
mm-hmm.
Would be slightly better if it wasn't a walking wake and some other special attacker in that position, and
Oh,
would have
100%.
been slightly better if this Thunderous would fuck off because it's not doing anything for the team.
It
Yeah, I
didn't exist. Yeah,
genuinely hate this Thunderous.
But other than that, I even like the Terra Lapras, like decent stats, and then Water Absorb Bomb with Terra. You know, you're never gonna say no to
Mm.
that.
It can heal Bell as well for the resting
Aggron?
Mega Aggron.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't feel like there's a lot to say. It's just like a lot of
it's there. Yeah,
dupe types and
Yeah. I feel most weeks it's just going to be Specs Wake and Specs AG running around, causing a menace. Maybe sometimes a banded chomp.
yeah.
That is fun to see.
I think it'd be a bit
But then, like,
inconsistent as well to not mention it's a bit slow. Like fastest mon is the Thunderous Eye that we hate,
oh, 100%.
then Wake, then Chomp, and then there's no speed. But
Yeah, I will admit the speed is very concerning.
if this like I don't know, if this Thunderous was like a Pokemon between the marks of 115 and like higher, I think it would be a better team by a long
Nah,
shot.
all I'm saying is Electrode Assuin's right there.
And I would still hate this team.
Man, I'd take it over Thunderous Eye though.
Yeah,
But
because then he can invest some more points somewhere else. Because he's got
yeah,
an
it doesn't need to be
Electrode
an
soon.
electric type. It's a
No,
Rotom Heat.
it really doesn't
Yeah.
need to be an electric type.
No. It's also, I will admit, there is one major problem I feel with the team is I found my mind's gone blank. Ignore me. We move.
Menacing.
My brain has gone. Brain went there. Oh dear.
now I want to know what you were
I don't
thinking.
know what it was, but like I think it was to do with Chomp. I think it's to do with like setup Chomp. I feel it's gonna be really nice, but getting into setup Chomp might be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I mean the only momentum
Like,
is Mandibuzz Rotom Heat, and that
mhm.
heals a bit shit. I mean, I think Walking
It's
Wake
the
gets.
flip turn wake.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's offensive momentum. Like once you get
Yeah.
into the defensive
Mhm.
cycle, then like
I,
how
say-
do you
I feel
gain momentum to get out of it? And that's through mandibles and rotom
I
heat.
do really like Specs Walking Wake flip turning into a Specs Age Slash. Purely because of the fact, like, I don't think there's a good answer to both. Like, most of the time, that Walking Wake's flip turning on a bulky water type or a bulky fairy. And, like, most of the time, Age Slash does not mind just shadow balling or flash canning the hell out of
Yeah.
one of them.
I mean, in that sense, there's a bit of synergy with the Thunderous. Like, water types comes in, bang, Thunderous. Fairy type comes in, Asia Slash.
Hmm. Yeah, I do see that, and like then Thunderous can also U-turn away, and you can just keep being an annoying shit, just
Yeah.
pivoting around until like you get a good chance for the Age Slash to come in and ruin. But I don't know. Team feels in a weird limbo state. Like some real nice fat wall cores, but then a lot of dupe types.
A lot of dupe types and some mediocre speed at best.
Indeed,
I think
is
we
why it is in the lower of B.
yeah, I mean, we down talked. What's his face? All Star having a base 110 as his max, and Thunderous ain't that much better than that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, feels a bit
I want to know the
rough.
50 wave
mindset.
is nice.
I want to know the mindset behind the round 2 Walking Wake when I was still an Iron Bundle if you don't plan on going Sun with it. I was fully expecting to see Sun after you picked the Walking Wake.
If you
Yeah, I was
if
gonna
you don't
say.
want to have to rely too hard on removing hazards, it's got its like advantages to bundle.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's just example. It was round 2, so it's a Dark Ride, it's a bundle. There was shit left still. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I get what you
just
mean.
want to know if he was planning on going Sun and it just got picked up, or
Walking Away
he
ain't
just
that bad
wanted
of
to
a
use Walking
Pokemon
Wake.
on its own
By
without
himself,
Sun.
literally.
No, I
Specs
know.
Break
But
was
seeing
nice.
how you already had a Dragon type is like the only
Yeah,
reason I can
yeah.
see picking
Duping the
that is if
Dragon
he
type
wants Sun.
feels a bit
Yeah.
weird, but I mean, I doubt he wanted Sun 'cause it's not like any of the Summons got taken anyway. So
Okay, no, that's fair.
Mm. I also do like how with the dragon types, he's got plenty of mons that don't mind taking hits from fairies.
yeah, and
Like
dragons.
you look
Like
at his
he's
team
got
and
two
like
Steel types into the Dragon
yeah,
types.
literally two steel types and the fire type feels
Yeah.
kind of nice. I am curious to see what this Tangrowth turns into most weeks because I feel like
Fat shit, that's what it does.
grass is already kind of goated for him.
Yeah, Grass
Like
already
maybe
works
fairy,
really well for the team.
like because man doesn't have a fairy type, but outside that, I'm not sure. But yeah,
We'll find
gonna
out
move
soon,
on
I guess.
to indeed, gonna move on to drums team, which started off so well. Goldengo Great Tusk, dreamy little duo. The Latios I like, but at the same time feel it started pushing the team in the wrong direction.
I don't
Um,
mind it. I just think I don't know. For me, it looks good until this Ninetales. I feel like this can be a bulky offense slash balance team, like in between the lines, before this
yeah, agreed.
Ninetale comes out. But this Ninetale pushes it more in the way of
HO.
HO, which like I don't like Goldingo. I don't think Goldingo facilitates HO at all, really.
I mean, I think just the power of its typing, it can just run Scarf or Specs HOE,
Yeah, yeah.
like stop
I mean,
those
it
defaults
can, but
from
it's
the
not what it
screens.
wants to do.
Yeah.
Like you're building this team around Goldingo, so why are you not using it like to what it's best at, in my opinion, which is balance slash bulky offense. I mean, you could call it bulky offense if you want with this Ninetales, but like I don't know. I feel like when you slap a Ninetales on a team, you're literally playing a 5v6, but you have a screen up.
Oh, 100%. And then like they break the screens through Brick Break or Psychic Fangs, which is not exactly rare to see
Mm-hmm.
when you're against an Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah.
Just it feels like a lot of sacrificing for a semi gimmick, you know. And also, not being rude, a lot of his mons I just don't think benefit that much from the Aurora Veil.
If we're gonna see the wall
He,
line pop off.
he has no good setup.
No.
Like not bad. Like he has got setup, but like the crack setup ones that can really abuse the screens just aren't here.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I think his
There's bulk up and calm minders all around.
I think his best mon really is the Iron Leaves to go with the
Mm-hmm.
setup. You can set up on what do you call it? Golden Go, but it's not the sweep kind of setup. You can break a
Yeah.
few mons, don't get me wrong, but
So I feel like it's
You
missing
can
a
set up
good
with Tusk as
DD mon.
well, right? Pretty
you
decently.
can spin and bulk up, but oh, no, Tusk
Yeah,
is
still
so
bulk
fat
up as well.
anyway that like you could
And
do
like I
that
feel
anyway
like
if you really want to. Without the
yeah,
That's fair, yeah.
the special moves are still hurting Tusk anyway.
yeah, that's true.
It's not like it's going to save him from getting two shot from like a psychic or a grass knot or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, I feel like if the team had, say, that back Excalibur, say it had a good DD mon over this Latios, and it's why I go back to this Latios, which feels so weird on the team, well, like which direction the team's gone. It just feels, I don't know, weird.
I feel like Latias felt good if this turned
Until the
into
Ninetales.
yeah, actually, if it turned into a
Agreed.
bulky offense or a balanced team, but then it just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
When Ninetales came in and ruined everyone's fun, and now the only defensive pivot we have is a Rotom Wash,
Yeah, pretty much.
and everyone's crying.
Yeah.
We
I only
have
rate it so highly because it is like one of the creme de la creme of setup bullshit in the sense of outside Psychic Fangs, that Goldengo is blocking any chance you have
oh yeah.
on getting rid of those screens. Which means Goldengo can come in, nasty plot, and just like beat you up for a bit,
Mhm.
which is huge.
Yeah.
But I feel that that gimmick only goes so far.
I think it don't know. It felt like a team which could win in so many different ways through it being a balanced team. And to be honest, even
Mm-hmm.
with the Ninetales, if this was like a last pick Ninetales and we'd built a balanced team with the chance to go into Ninetales and Smash mode, I'd like it so much more. But
Mm-hmm.
we have one pivot. This Ninetale has to come, otherwise the team doesn't function, and it makes it way too
Literally.
predictable.
Like Cinderace is gonna feel so meh, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's right.
Like this Overquill, I don't know why it's here.
Oh,
Like
don't like.
dark poisons are cool typing. Yeah, great mate. You've got base 85, 95, 65 defenses. Like
Mm-hmm.
no one
What
cares.
what is the point of ticking off your type chart with the oh I've got a Shadow Ball resist now when it's got 65 Spadef? Who cares about your Shadow Ball resist? Bro's dying 2 anyway.
Literally.
I've come into the Gengar on the Shadow Ball, but then he pressed Focus Blast and I died in one hit anyway. Or he pressed Nasty Plot and I was just like, oh, I seem to have fucking died. My Overquill
That's fine because that's when they bring the mighty AV, and then
die
bam,
anyway.
Shadow Ball, and then they run away, and then bam, Shadow Ball, and they run away. I don't know.
No, I don't see the point of picking up a
But
defensive typing on a Pokemon that was going to be best utilized offensively.
it's only good, in my opinion, on Swift Swim teams, like for Swift Swim on rain teams, because it's one of the few Swift Swim users that isn't a water type.
Yeah. You get different types.
Mm-hmm. But no, instead he's come on the snow team to fat vibe.
He's come to switch into your Shadow Balls for the doing half anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I like is when my Ghost type has Will-O-Wisp. And the Dark type when I'm switching into the Ghost type has 65 for death and is a physical attacker, so he's going to be really sad when
Oh,
he gets
literally.
Will-O-Wisps. That's just creme de la creme, peak Dark type, you know?
I see Spectrius 6-0 in this team.
Yeah.
I click Willow, I click Hex.
I see a Dragon Pulp with Infiltrator having the game of its life.
Yo.
We like those.
Where my screens go.
Where the screens go, oh, they disappeared. I had Infiltrator and you died to a Spec Shadow Ball anyway. Unfucking lucky.
Literally.
Bro, gonna have to bring the Ghost Resist Bear in his Golden Go to bait that shit that week.
Literally. So the Spec Shadow Balls do go in hard. That Goldengo come in scarf, baby.
Scarf's still slower than Paul. Actually, no, it's not. It's not. It's online.
No, it's not. It's not hard.
You have to run.
You do be 80,
You have to run
but
timid though.
Oh yeah, you do. You can't be mad. 84, I'm pretty sure is like it can outspeed 150s. Just.
Yeah. Fast as fuck, boy. If I was to change this team, I think you keep the fake Virizion. I forgot what it's called.
Iron Leaves.
Iron Leaves. It's right on the screen.
You
Yep.
get rid of the other 4.
And you get rid of. No, I don't mind the Ninetale. I just think it's so predictable when you have these other 3. Because like they're all offensive bonds really. No pivot, no nothing. Just like we've come to smash. If you throw in like I don't know a Spadef wall, which this team does not have.
My
Like,
only problem with this theory about Ninetales not being too bad, which I mean it's not, it's just a bit costly. Like you've already spent so many points on your water type in Rotom Wash. You've already spent like pretty sure all the top 3 are 17 points. And maybe Great Tusk is 18. But like you've already spent so many points. You're then spending 12 points on this Ninetales and then another premium on Incinerate. It just feels like
yeah, I was saying to get rid of the
I'm
Cinderace.
all for.
I was.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm all for like just get 7 solid mons and then get 2 shitters, like shitter 1 points.
Hmm.
But I feel like this team does not benefit from that strategy.
I feel like it.
With Ninetales, you don't want like if you did that with this team, you'd have Ninetales, Rotom Wash, and then pushing it 2 semi good walls and then 2 shitters. Whereas I feel like you just benefit more from having 4 good walls.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you replace like I don't know, like the Cinderace, the Overquill, and the Walrein, I don't know how many points that gets you.
Mm-hmm. About 24.
And I feel like you can spend that into just 2 good walls and a 1-pointer. And then for your offense, I feel like Iron Leaves, Latty, Great Tusk, and Golden Go will just do the job. I don't think you need more.
No, agreed. I feel like what I'm getting at is with Ninetales, I feel you don't go Rotom Wash.
No, I think it's fine because then you can run like if you can run the defensive team, the offensive pivots, or you can run your H show with Ninetales. I don't know. I think if you're bringing Ninetales on this team, it's not that bad. I'm making like suggestions based on this Ninetale has to stay because I think that's his whole idea. He wants to run
Yeah, 100%.
screens plus Golden Go.
I'm saying that as well. But that's why I'm saying I feel like I don't rate the Rotom Wash with the Ninetales purely for a money, well, not but like points efficiency standpoint.
I think it's okay.
Like the whole point of Rotom Ninetales, it turns shitmons crack because they now have double defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like man spent so much early on. It just feels a bit rough.
I think if you replace the Cinderace, the Overquill and the Walrein, although the Walrein ain't getting that much, so if you don't need to replace him, then like fuck it, just replace those 2. Pick up a better, well, just 1 or 2 walls really, or maybe 1 wall if you feel like you can only get away with just 1 wall. But to be fair, if he had like the Incineroar over those 2, like, and then I don't know something else, feel a bit better. You can run like bulky offense without a Ninetales if need be. Maybe like I don't know a Blissey with Incineroar instead of the Overquill and Cinderace. Like you can run your bulky offense, or you can run Smash.
Yeah, I'd rate that team.
Yeah. But good team. It's gonna be a bitch to play against. Like Screen's Golden Go. Like this Golden Go. If I don't see this Golden Go kill leader, I will be so shocked. To be honest, like I don't see without like really good prep how this Golden Go doesn't come out of every game with like 2 kills. It's just whether the team wins after the Golden Go dies is the main question for me.
Agreed. I think it's also going to be, do I have a man faster than Ninetales Alola? And can I punish it before it gets the greens up?
Yeah, literally. Can I force you to play a defensive pivoting playstyle with a team that was made to use Alolan Ninetales by
Mhm.
making it not come out first because they've got a mod to go faster than it.
Literally.
And if fast is the answer, then it feels rough for this team, I think, a bit. Like,
Yeah.
you're playing survival until this Ninetales can come in and you can do the shit you planned on doing.
100%.
Because God knows that Goldingo's coming with nasty plot, so like that's already -1 utility move that it could have, so it's probably not going to be recover plus status move. It's probably recover to attacks nasty plot.
100%. Yeah. It's Shadow Ball, and then Focus Blast / Make It Rain.
Yeah, literally recover nasty plot.
I feel also just to mention it, those Great Tusk is a great spinner, and you got Rotom Wash is a good backup defogger with Court Chain Cinderace. The team does not appreciate hazards.
Mhm.
Like this Ninetales is never running boots. It's always going to be light clay. This Cinderace is kind of forced to not ever bringing band, and then like Rotom Wash wants lefties, which is all right because like it doesn't take the spikes damage, but I can still see the rocks like kind of chip adding up over time.
Yeah, 100%. And the Throne Wash doesn't want to run defog. I've run
Mhm.
my fair amount of Rotums, and I've run a fair amount of Rotums that have had to come defog, and it feels really shit.
I feel like Great Tusk, even though he's one of the best spinners, he's also just cracked in just beating the shit out of teams.
He's also just a
And he
really good
doesn't
fucking
want,
Pokemon, yeah.
he doesn't want to have to like, oh, it's time to click spin, you know?
Yeah,
You want
literally.
to press the Earthquake or the Headlong Rush or whatever.
100%. You want to
Literally.
press Headlong CC, you want to press Knock, you want to press Ice
Knock
Spinner.
off.
Yeah. I had this problem. I think it was the season before where I also had Goldengo Great Tusk, and the Great Tusk came in, and like I kind of had to spin because the rocks were up, but it just felt so shit. Like you're like, I finally got this fucking mon in, and now I have to press spin, and then it takes a fuck ton of damage.
I think it feels rough, and it's the same way with Turtle, though cool mon feels a bit shite. Is you don't really want to have your 17-point mon's job be come in and spin for me, boy. Like
Yeah.
you want him doing more than just being a spin bitch.
Yeah, literally.
And then you're stuck to only Run and Wash.
Yeah. I feel like as well,
Yeah.
like, with these kind of teams, you may want to just run boot spam. Fair, it was a really good start to the boot spam because you have 2 levitate mons, so you don't even have to do the boot spam because you're floating anyway.
And it's not like Goldengo or Great Tusk care that much about hazards.
Yeah, literally. They both resist rocks. We had an
Like
amazing
Spike sucks for
start,
Goldengo, but other than that,
and then we whipped out 2 Pokemon weak to rocks, and we were like, no.
and then the mighty angry Spike.
The spiky fish came in and we were like, oh yeah, fast my ghost resist,
It's like
65s per death. You hear that?
genuinely feels
65s per death. Eating it up like a
the best part
snack.
is that thing's job every week is going to be setting up hazards to like make value out of this Goldengo, which means it's going to come in on this Shadow Ball, take like 40% because it's not AV because it needs to set up the hazards. Going to be able to set up one hazard and then like get forced out, and the next time it just dies to 2 Shadow Balls. That is this Overquill's life.
That bro's never coming. It's Goldingo, Great Tusk, and the
Paranormal Iron Leaves.
Ninetales. Interchangeable, and then Latios, Rotom Wash, Cinderace, and Leaves are interchangeable for the remaining 3 slots.
Mm.
I just don't
Knowing
think.
Drum, this Walrein is coming like half the games.
Well,
Oh.
he's slightly challenged if that happens, I think.
But I see Ice Body Bullrain in the War Rail. Think how fat he'll be.
It's like he's got Toxic Orb, man, and his Gliscor. He's healing so much with his lefties. Eating it up.
Oh dear.
But I don't think you
But
ever
yeah.
like you set up your screen and you're like, you know what? Right now I want to pivot into my spiky pile of shit on the ghost type
Oh,
Shadow
literally.
Ball. You're like, no, I want to eat the Shadow Ball anyway with my Goldingo and fucking Shadow Ball him back and have him die.
Like going back to this almighty Aegislash from like last team that we saw. I feel like it has a matchup of a lifetime. You lead against the known Tails Alola. You scare it with the flash cannon. Like it either dies or
You know
sets
Drum's
up a
staying in
screen.
to set up that shit.
100%. And it's getting blown away.
Yeah, it is. It's gone. But then bro's got him up, and like he's ready to press nasty fault with his Goldingo.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do about that now?
I still think it's a decent team overall, though. Like
Oh, it's
Oh,
we
100% a
talk
good
a lot, we
team.
talk a lot about the bad sides, but this is a good team in general.
Yes. I mean, I think playing like I just think playing with the Veil into Goldingo is going to be an
Golden Go,
absolute
yeah,
bitch, but
Oh, literally.
there are ways around it. And I think the problem with the team for me personally is if you beat this gimmick,
yeah.
the team
You won the
starts
game.
crumbling. Whereas this could have been a team with this gimmick that could also function normally without it. And that would have been so scary. Because you bring all this prep to beat the gimmick, and then you beat the gimmick, but he's brought normal balance offense anyway. You know, he's brought bulky offense that's balance anyway, and like you're like, oh fuck. I've got Psychic Fangs with this Pokemon that really didn't want to bring Psychic Fangs.
Yep. Do moves like Brick Break and Psychic Fang give full damage, or they give half damage and then break the screens?
They get
Full
full
damage.
damage.
Okay.
So that Goldingo is going to take 20
Like
Fuck.
instead of
12%
10.
Yeah.
instead of, yeah,
Yeah.
literally. But yeah. Moving on, if everyone's okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
We have Zeus, and I think it's highest position yet
whoop whoop.
on power rankings.
I really like these 5 first months. Like the Memo Swine gives me nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see the fraud known as Urshifu Rapid and Tornadus.
I think I'm going to beat you up with physical types. I'm not going to worry about the special side is a bit concerning. But like,
I mean, Zapdos can do fat
it
damage on the
works.
special side.
Yeah, but
It's
it's also
also
one
like
of
your
those
only
only
good
walls.
defoggers. Yeah.
Bro's
And you
going to
don't
get.
want to
Literally.
bring Tornadus
Your
because
only
it's just the
defogger.
worst Zapdos.
I feel like this Mega Morwell is stepping on the toes of the Mamo a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, this is just us berating it to begin with. We'll be nice to it in a bit, I promise. Rapid Strike, Rapid Strike.
Represents a pile of shit and a waste of time, and like, why the fuck do you
Literally.
pick it? Like,
I look at it and think
Yes.
that could be that could have been a bulky water type to like help out the team on like pivoting into the fucking Mamu. And then like instead we have a Politoad
hmm
because rain funny.
I can't hold back anymore. Why did you pick a Politoed to facilitate your fucking three worst Pokemon? Like, why do we need a Politoed to facilitate Urshifu Rapid, a Tornadus, and an offensive Zapdos that's going to have to come defensive every week? Because if you looked at this team, it's one of his only walls. Why? Why you don't? There's no point. Why would you bring Shitty Rain with Urshifu and fucking Tornadus when you have Moon and Mega Mawile? Like, and fucking like, no, there's no matchup where like, oh, I can't break him with my Mamoswine Mega Mawile, so I'm going to have to bring my Urshifu Rapid in the rain. No, that never happens.
You know
Fucking,
what I like to think? Zeus just likes doing mental damage to you.
I think Zeus
That's
likes
very possible.
wasting like 40 points for no reason. Like, he was like, my team is so good, I'm a flex on the haters and waste 40 points. And one of these points that I've wasted is going to have to come every week because I've only got 5 good Pokemon. That's what
Plus
Pro
5.
thought.
Very nuts, though.
Yeah, 5 is very good, but
Predictable.
predictable, and our Spadef walls are lacking.
His rocks is also lacking.
Yeah, you know, well, he's got,
It's-
well, yes, there's heavily
yeah,
leveling.
you can
But,
bring
like,
them. You don't want to bring them on those.
No.
You don't care about hazards when you click move and it does 70% to the opponent.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
That's true.
literally.
That's true. Yeah.
If we'd built some like good pivots to go with this insane start, like it would have been crazy. Or like maybe even a special attacker, but
Literally, he picks up his Peckrant and you think he's going in that right direction of fat boys that just pivot out into the Mamo and kill things. And then like it all goes to shit.
yeah, and then like Urshifu Rapid appears and he ruins everyone's day. And by ruins everyone's day, I mean Zeus's day, because then he'll slowly learn over the season what a shit pick this was.
Oh, literally, same with the Torn.
Yeah.
Like just so many points are just gone for no reason. I'm not even going to mention the Cradily. I don't care about the Cradily. Do whatever you want with the Cradily.
Yeah,
The other three are
yeah,
crimes.
literally, man.
Like, even Polytoads, like other niche outside setting rain, which is like the Perish Song Whirlpool trapping shit, because like it traps the wall and beats it. You don't need to do because your team is full of wall breakers.
Literally, the wall ain't living anyway.
Literally,
The
you tell
wall,
me a wall that's living a Terra Mammo. Nothing.
the wall is thankful you Paris trapped it because it got to do more than it would have against that mammoth swine.
I literally sat there and set up a bunch of hazards against your Polytoads that slowly died.
Literally. I mean, I'd honestly rather see this Polytoad come with specs and like you just run the top five for the specs Polytoad. You've got some 100% accurate Thunderous and Hurricanes and the Zapdos, and like, ah, fuck it, let's roll.
You know what I'd rather have?
A whole new
Different
team
mount.
Something,
after the first five.
something I'd rather see over the Polytoad is just
As,
not the Polytoad.
yeah. You know what I'd love to see? A Spadef wall.
Oh, literally.
But we weren't allowed those. We were given urgently
Really, Credilli,
Polytoad.
107 Spadef, it's massive.
Stonks. With it, which in fact I think it gets recover, but like it's also rock grass.
It's also
I would
Credilli,
also
yeah. It's
love
just
to point
Terra, to
out.
be fair.
Yeah, well then you're
Still
sacking
shit.
Terra Manifine. You
Yeah,
just
it's
you
still
are a
shit.
weapon. You are a
Like, I
weapon
don't
if you
rate it
sack.
on the team. Like, I don't rate this rain at all, but I still don't get why he couldn't just pick up Pelipper if he wanted to do rain.
Well, because this is his
Like,
favorite rain setter,
but it's ass.
and this would have also been his third flying type, and he didn't want to. He didn't want to do the alien cosplay. He didn't want to. He was ready for the memes. The memes in the chat were gonna be scary.
But like, what I'm getting at is if he went Pelipper, I don't think he goes fucking Torn after. You know, you get the Pelipper to vibe with the Zapdos
You
for
never
whatever
know.
stupid reason, and then like you just get some bulky boys. You
Yeah,
know, I don't know.
I agree.
Like, I'm just scouring through the GPA tier list at the moment, just looking at like the other options he had, and it upsets me.
We could have had a grass type that isn't called Cradilly, and that would
Yeah.
have been gnarly. He could have had Among
He
Us.
fell in love with Amoongus. Literally, he fell in love with Amoongus last season. Why not
He
again?
already has a poison type, come on man. Gotta have two.
Oh
Oh,
shit, yeah, true.
oh shit! Oh no!
Yeah, can't
Not
have
the
multiple types on the
not
team.
the double
Yeah.
poison.
I
No,
way rather have a Credilli than double poison.
exactly. Which is why he whipped out the thunderous, not the thunderous, the fucking tornadoes, so he could have the double
Yep.
flying. He's like, nah, I couldn't have double poison, but double flying. That's where it's at.
Yep.
Do you know what I would rate on this team?
Anything but the
A
four that
big fat,
came.
literally, a big fat Chansey. Fuck it.
Yeah, same.
Like, all it needs to come and do is come in, teleport into Mamo. Job's done.
Literally, shit's
Something
about to hit the
dies, yeah.
fan.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
I just don't want to get 6-0 by this Mammoth Swine again.
I think the whole league is trying to look at not being 6-0 by the Mammoth, my friend.
Yeah.
Like,
I tell you the way it's called: offensive special attack attackers.
Yep.
Just
literally.
bring your special attacking HO, and pray you can beat him before he can beat you. Because this team could have been immense,
Yep.
but instead,
I still like to believe
it
in
wasn't.
the Spadef Roost Roaring Moon.
Massive.
I think
Indeed.
you're the only one, to be honest.
Unironically, I think that is going to be like
His
would be
best chance
better
at
than
Spadef
him
Wall.
trying, yeah, because it can pivot with U-turn, and like as long as he's getting this Mamo or more in, I don't think he cares too much about what this Roaring Moon's doing. This Roaring Moon is living in like the Mamo shadow right now.
I mean, unless he's got something like actually good concocted, I don't think he's ever running this Spadef Moon. Because once you come to the realization that you're having to run a Spadef Roaring Moon, you can then think, why am I having to run a Spadef Roaring Moon? And you're
Oh,
like,
literally.
oh yeah, it's because I picked Urshifu Rapid and fucking Politoed. What if I fucked them off and actually got
And
a
Tornado
Spadef
Tie.
Wall? Yeah.
Don't you forget about that Tornadus.
I will not. He's Torn's fucking like little bro, like in his shadow forever. Torn T says. I don't know. You fuck those off and be like, yo, if I pick up a Spadef Wall, my moon can run like Scarf or Band or some shit, or even DD. Just give it pivot options to my Mega Morwell. My Mega Morwell comes in on a fairy type, it's game over. Like,
Literally. Screamtail's right there, brother.
yeah, honestly,
Gets
so
knocked
good.
off.
Great shout. Fucking perfect.
Just anything. You know, even fucking Deoxys defense at this point.
In fact, I can't remember if I
You just want.
play Zeus or not, but like I need him to keep this Politoed until I face him with my Keldeo. I want to see the Specs Terra Water Keldeo in the rain, one shot that moon through its Spadef.
Nice.
Bang. Bye bye moon.
I'll be honest, I just want to face this team, period. Like,
What, before
if
it
man actually
changes?
changes it, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
before he
yeah,
starts
yeah.
getting the actual pivots on his team, I still want to face first.
Yeah, don't pick up the Scream Tail until after I've faced you.
Mm-hmm.
That shit might
But
actually.
genuinely with the right support, this Mamu could just win the league.
Mm,
He is up there on the big dick terror list.
he'd be a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, other than like being scared of Mamu, anyone got any input?
Doesn't
Please don't,
believe in Spadef or special attack, but other than that, it's a good team.
please don't
I
change
think
your
its hazard
team.
game
I
is
think it's the best team
shite.
in the league, and
Yeah,
you do not need to change it. I think it's perfect.
he will replace it to SS rank if you don't change it.
Facts.
As a man, it doesn't face him in this season. I believe in you, Zeus. Change the team, make it cracked, and then I hope you get knocked out first round in playoffs.
That's
Because
menacing.
I don't want to face it.
I face it though. Wait, do I? No, I don't actually.
Ah, perfect. Just beyond.
Let's see if Beyond change. Wait, I click on the wrong thing. I am. Why does this dog keep fucking up? I click on my name and it goes to Callum.
Good.
No,
And
I'm
then
not
talking about
facing him.
other menaces, we have the mighty Bjorn himself,
God.
or as Bjorn calls him, 5E.
5
Well,
my,
it's not a
my...
bean at that point. It's almost a bean.
Nah, that's 5 That's my goat.
5E right there.
I've never
You
seen a
don't remember
man
facing Zeus.
whip out teams that need momentum and then have no momentum so consistently
Literally,
as this man.
I look at this team and I'm like, it's so nice. And then I look at the pivots and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, the wrong pivots.
Like on paper, the first 4 months are so nice. Iron Hands, solid addition. Gengar, also a solid addition. If it wasn't for the fact there's no pivots to get into Gengar. But like, I don't know what the last 5 are doing, but the first 6 are kind of nice. Outside the fact that they just can't pivot.
It's like bro made a football team without a midfield. We have the offense and we have the defense, but there's no way to get in between them.
They
We're
can't pass
fucked.
the ball to each other.
No.
They just have to let the opponents pass the ball for them.
Yes.
By killing your teammates.
Pretty much.
Sacrifice one of the teammates to the gods so my striker can get the ball.
Yep.
And then we lose.
That's why they call him Satgar.
Send bro in. It's time for his death.
And he goes in with his focus sash, takes a hit, hits him up with a little bit of a tickle with a shadow ball, and dies.
Nah, bro come in T-Spike. Bro comes in,
Also,
takes
only
his hit,
having rapid
T-Spikes,
spin,
dead.
only having hazard removal. I guess tidy up as hazard removal. but
Toad
there's
Scroll Rapid Spin is wild. Phineos has defog though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Finny
Oh,
Doc
true.
just does not. The Doc is against the Tapus today for some reason.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I
no,
mean,
I
you
take
can
that
just
back.
run
It's not
Hazard.
amazing, but it's good enough.
You can just run a Hazard stack with boots. Like me, I don't mind running boots that bad. Like Gengar, Gengar's shit anyway. Who cares?
literally,
Hands resist rocks, so like ain't that deep.
the only problem with Cat, I feel like Cat doesn't want to run boots.
No.
But everyone's run band or like for those niche weeks where it doesn't need the damage. It needs like wants to run a
Pads.
what's it called? Pads.
Indeed.
But yeah.
It doesn't want
think-
to, but it could.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think it's a cracked team.
And you can just Hazard stack without these like the boots, and then like if shit gets too much, you can defog with your Fini. But like if they've only got rocks up and you've got rocks and spikes, and fuck it, let's just take the rocks damage because like they're taking so much more.
Yep. He's also our first person and only person, I'm pretty sure, to have 3 terrors. which
I didn't even know that was allowed when he did it. I thought it was only 2.
take it to how you will be.
I mean,
I
Armor
think it says a lot
Rouge.
about his terrors.
I like Armor Rouge, and I don't mind
Armor
Toe
is
Scroll
right.
either.
I
No,
think Gerard,
I kind of like
Gerard's
his
also pretty
terrors.
scary as
I
well,
don't
though.
mind the terrors, but I feel like they're very nice terrors for like last season.
I get what you
You
mean.
know,
Yeah.
this season where we've allowed so much more terror power, just have these free vibe does not feel nice.
I think Terra Armor Rouge is rather spooky. Not quite to the tier of like some of the really strong terrors that have been allowed in this season, but it's not like it can't hold a torch to him, you know? It's like it's
Oh yeah.
nearly there. And to that extent, I feel like it nearly being there, paired with a good defensive, well, goodish defensive terror. I'm not gonna say Toad School's amazing, but like 80 HP and 120 per death with spores, nothing to nothing to laugh at.
Indeed. Does
The
it get
spore will
synthesis?
always go last, though, which is quite sad.
I think it does not get a healing
No, it
move.
does.
Does it?
Oh,
It gets
sorry.
synthesis?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I thought you
That's
were
fair.
talking about Foregone last.
It gets leech seed though.
Yeah.
That is
Fair,
a
like
very good move.
Seeds with lefties can like give it
mm.
more longevity. More of a longevity than
It
it's
gets
like
the Giga Drain. That's something.
I feel like it has
yeah.
move slot syndrome though.
Oh,
Like
100%.
spikes, T spikes, spin, spore, leech seed now,
Literally.
knockoff.
Wait,
Like it
when
wants
are
to do
you
so
ever
much.
actually fitting in this
It
seeds?
has pain split as well, by the way.
That's nice. That's nice.
I feel like its HP's a little on the higher side for pain split, but like nothing too high.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall solid team. As we said though, just really struggles getting into one another.
Mhm.
Like his best option at the moment is going into like AV Iron Hands, just tanking hits, being a fat shit, and volt switching out.
Yeah.
That's currently his
Looks like
best
a
pivoting
waste
option.
of an Iron Hands, though.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's just got
That
the
thing wants to
same
break shit.
some of the same problems he had last season, which is how does he
Mm.
get into shit? He had this Mega Zam, and he even said to himself he thinks Mega Zam is really good, but it looked ass because he could never get it out. I played him in the final, and the game was already over before it came out. Like
Yeah.
the loss was pretty much confirmed before Mega Zam touched the field because he doesn't have pivots. To be fair, he had an Alolan Persian. He had to bring in an Alolan Persian as his pivot.
Yep.
It just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's a fast pivot as well. So like,
Yeah, literally. I don't know, if you don't have pivots, you just let the other person run the game, and that feels shit.
pretty
Like
much.
the only teams where no pivots works are HO because you just sack them on and set up on the next one.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean either that or Store, because Store doesn't need pivots because they're all walls. They all switch in freely anyway. But like balance, like this team is obviously balanced. It feels a bit shit. It feels like it's going to play more like HO. You're gonna set up hazards with your Tinglu. Like maybe you'll set up Feedy, maybe you'll set up what do you call it, Scylla, and you're just gonna smash. Because like running them like Leech Seed or like Defog or like whatever doesn't feel so good because like, I don't know, you're just there stalling until you like have to go into a next storm on because there's no way to actually get into your offense. So fuck it, if
Pretty
we're
much.
stuck here for a good time, may as well just set up. But then like I don't know, running a wonky offense team virtually, even though these ones are so fat. Which is why you should run an eject button on all of your Pokemon. Bang, and I left the field.
I look at the Smogon page for Toadstool and it's recommended to have an eject button, so that's already one.
Eject burn, toe scroll.
That sounds
Yep.
ass. You try
Oh,
and
for Smogon.
spore them and they
I
hit
come
you
into spore and
because you're
fly away.
guaranteed to be slower.
Yep. No,
Literally.
that's what Smogon said. I don't know.
I mean, Spore is
That's the only
banned.
Smogon says
Spore
it's
is
the only.
banned in the Smogom tiers.
Ah,
Okay.
that makes sense. Okay, okay.
So there is no Spore to be pressed. So that'd be why.
I did not know Spore was banned. To be fair, I don't
Like,
play
all sleep is banned
Smogon
now
much.
in Smogom.
Damn.
Yep.
They're not the GPA, sadly. They don't have a amazing decision making.
Exactly. They can't make complex bands like us.
Literally, I still think that's wild. Like, there's so many people saying they should just ban everything but Spore.
I 100% agree. I think some Pokemon had a nice niche with Spore, like my
Mhm.
go-to Mungus, and then they took her away for no reason.
Literally, Among Us are you know.
Oh my-
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think the team's solid.
Yeah,
Not sure what the Electrode's doing. Like,
it's there.
it feels like it was like, oh shit,
now this
I
is
need
the
extra
mental
people.
damage Electrode. You
No, no,
come
no.
in, and he's got a fast Volt Switcher, so you need your ground type. Bang! Your Mudsdale's arrived, and the Electrode hasn't arrived, and you're like, no! Why did I bring Mudsdale? Mudsdale's a pile of shit!
But then
But it's,
Mudsdale still walls the shit out of the Iron Hands, and you're happy.
nah, Mudsdale ain't one fucking
No,
jack shit. Mudsdale gone, mate. Banned CC,
Mudsdale getting crit ice sharded.
bro, gone.
We've already discussed it can't be banded. It needs Volt Switch to be running around for this cat.
I still be banned with Volt Switch.
Exactly.
Banded Volt Switch,
Sorry.
baby.
The better example is when it comes in facing Mr. Don fan, Albie, and he's like, oh
Oh, yeah.
shit, gotta bring my Don fan
Yeah, that's perfect.
in case Electrode comes, and then fucking as per
Get the
usual,
ice
Electrode
punch. Yeah,
doesn't come because it's shit. It's like,
Yep.
oh,
it still takes like 70 from CC anyway. More if
yeah,
it's banded.
But
indeed.
yeah, there's also another team. It's that you might be seeing a trend soon. It's just not got a blatant type weakness like a lot of the other teams that we've seen.
Yeah, like it's
It's
got
kind
one big problem, and that is pivot, while all the lower teams had like multiple
of
problems.
literally. Like
And
pivoting
like
is
it
a
is, yeah,
issue on
it
the
is
team.
draft. You
But
can't have everything. That's the whole
just
point of it.
run a jetpack armor rouge. When you were armor cannon, you run away.
That's hot.
That is hot.
Indeed. I saw someone running a jetpack CC mon the once. It was good.
That's also hot.
I think I saw her in a
Yeah,
jackpot and packed a Draco Dragon Ball once. Menacing.
that is medicine.
Why you turn when I can
Good you
Draco?
turn bad. Literally. You get to keep the damage though, you know, Draco.
Yeah, exactly.
Shame it's not specs damage, but it's some damage.
Yeah, some damage
But
better than
anyway,
you know.
moving on to the top four.
What can I
Which
say? The U-turn don't get the specs, so
true. Either does the
I think I
jetpack
think we need to
Draco.
put a disclaimer. I think we put a disclaimer at the top four that we try to be as unbiased as possible. But the
Oh,
way
we
we
tried
the way
so hard.
the way we understand draft as a like a group, because all the top four are from the same quote unquote friend group, and the way we understand
I
draft is how
understand
we all
both.
draft and agree with each other is the best. So we will put each other probably
I
higher.
also feel like we prove this point by beyond flaunting a couple championships at this point.
Yeah,
You know,
indeed.
I feel
just
the
wanted to
balance
make
is
sure that people knew we weren't just
there.
I don't know.
like
I feel
sucking
like
Clearly
each
have
other's dick every day.
I feel like we're just fairly justified to the fact that like the problems that the better players that didn't do very well last season, the problems that we pointed out within the PRs, aka I say Sean's probably like the best, if not wherever, second best wherever you want to place him player in the league, and he didn't do very well because he didn't have pivots. He couldn't get the
Didn't he
Megazama
get
in, which
didn't
is
he
what
get
we said.
second? I would say that's pretty well.
I'd say I don't know. I'd say that's a fair underperformance, especially if you look where he came, like in the league season. Like bro was like 5-3 or some shit. Like that's not good for Sean. Sean,
No, that's true.
if
Yeah,
Sean
yeah,
has a good team, I think Sean goes like fucking 7-1, like majority of seasons.
yeah, yeah.
But like bro did not have a good team. Well, he had a good team, but with a blatant obvious weakness that he can't pivot around. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretty much. But yeah, so talking about Albie's team, uh, we can all agree Terra Boswell is fucking insane.
very good indeed.
Very.
Like, I feel it's only challenged by one of the Terra, and we'll come into that eventually. Um,
The goat Snorlax.
like I feel like first pick is a bit rough for it, but like I won't lie. Towards the end of the wheel, which where Albi was, it's not that bad. Like
No, no.
it was that, or it was a good defog or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly think it would
So,
only feel bad because of the way in which we know most other people pick in this league, which is
mm-hmm.
people aren't tending to prioritize the
Average.
terrace. But I
Mm-hmm.
think like I don't know if people drafted to my what I perceive as to be the correct priority, I think this thing is worth first picking.
It's
Agreed.
also
Agreed.
it's Albie. He's the big arm boys. He was gonna first pick this month, whether it was like insanely good or just like a bit good.
I mean,
If you look
100%, but you should
slightly
still
left of
get
that Buzzball,
Yeah, exactly. You see a
he's
Boswell.
literally modeling. He's literally modeling for the creatine.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got that protein powder on juice. Um, yeah, Slow King second pick feels really early for Slow King personally, but like still nice.
The kings always go fast in the
Like
GPA though. So if you want a slow king,
Slow King and Buzzwell put together just feels solid. You know,
Very good, yeah.
one is an extreme fat defensive wall with Roost, and now a Terror does not need its quad weak to flying anymore, and then the other's just a fat Spadef
hmm
wall.
Like the combo's
I
so
think
nice. They hope they hate each other
mm,
offensively and defensively. Future sights for Buzzwall, so he doesn't have to worry about some of his resists coming in, and then
agreed.
also Buzzwall can terror into whatever like Slowking cannot wall, especially on the physical side, and just deal with it for bro, and it's really nice.
Mm. I think Albi fell into the what I like to call the drum trap, and picked up Kiram next. Like I think Kiram's a great mon, and it does suit Buzzwall in the sense of like he's just a fat wall breaker, getting ready for Buzzwall to be sweeping in the back with like CCs and shit on a Beast Boost, and the chilly reception synergy with Slow King. But I feel like it was just pulled too early trigger wise, because I don't know, it feels a bit early. Don't know what the lads think.
Um,
I don't mind
I
it. I
think
think Kieran would be
Karam
gone maybe.
can be a third round pick, but the trends say that people don't in this league prioritize it that
Mm.
high. But given what Kiram does, I think it's good for third round. I think he could have probably left it a few more rounds, and they would have still been there because I don't think people like
Agreed.
desire it that much. And I also think that the team, it's not like the team's over because oh no, my Kiram's gone. You can get some other Pokemon that fills a similar job, and like
Oh, literally.
so like yeah. But I don't think it's too early. I think
Fair.
like he got a fourth pick Mega Jam after, which
I was about to say fourth
is
pick makes that feel insane.
It's
menacing.
also
So
LB was
like
pretty late in
Like,
the draft, right? So the Kiram being picked up third or fourth is pretty much the same. Like there's what 2-3 picks between that, and then getting it
like
on the
no,
fifth
seven.
no,
pick.
no. Wait,
Wait,
yeah,
what?
okay, yeah, yeah. No, you're right, you're right, you're right.
And then
Yeah,
getting it on like the fifth pick is a very likelier chance that it's gone
yeah, yeah. If you want to pick
Not
up
because there's
really.
like
so many
Kieran's got
picks in between
undrafted
it.
like so many leagues.
Yeah, but
yeah,
so
I think
did
it's more
many
due to the
months,
fact
and they
that
all can get drafted this season.
the,
The
I'm
what
more
was it?
getting it though that there are other mons that can do Kieran's job. And I feel this team would have appreciated a good, like, solid wall to go up with the boys. And I feel like it was just a bit jump the gun, is what I'm getting at.
I feel like the team would have
Yeah,
appreciated some points to spare.
Yeah, literally.
Karen cost
yeah, that's fair.
17 points, man. And this
But
Mega
Buzzwell
Exam
is only
costs.
11 though, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
have you ever seen a Walker as gorgeous as Skarm into Fez, into Incineroar, into Donphan, into Roshimo? Oh, the
yeah,
10
literally.
pointers unite! Crossbow's creaming right now. He's not even in the league. Oh, Cross.
Crossbows with Albi at the moment.
Crossbow's like,
He's in his
bro,
heart.
what a team. There's so many 10 pointers. The 10 pointers are out in style, man.
The good 10 pointers though. 4 10 pointers. A lot of dog shit 10 pointers, but I think out of them these are the better ones.
I do agree. I like
Minus
these
Don Fan.
10 pointers.
Yeah.
Young, what the go-to to you?
I think bro realized he didn't have a ground type and lacked like a good spinner or proper hazard removal.
No, I think he just likes self harm. He tried Donphan before, and he dropped it straight away, and now he's doing the exact same mistake he made last time. It's going to turn into a Sandy Sharks by the end of the season. I already know it.
I dared him to pick it. Can't lie. I did dare him to pick the Dun fan.
But outside that, I do like.
Spin we've had the stack on Scarm's nice, like all I'm saying.
Yeah. Like Rotomo's nice as well.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the ball core is budget, but it's good budget.
Yeah.
You've got
I mean, you
somewhat
have
good
Slowking
recovery
Buzzwolf. Like that's
options.
not budget.
He took my people. He took my my Razor Mo
Literally.
Fez.
Like Rotomo, Fez, and Slowking, and then Incineroar for like, shit, I need to intimidate this mean guy.
Ah
Or,
shit,
like,
I want to resist the Shadow
is-
Ball.
Or oh shit, it's a psychic type that's calm, can't deal with. To be fair though, Slowking could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. Shadow Ball, big mean. I thought Fez does a good job against Shadow Ball anyway though.
Yeah, but it's nice to
Just
have a
his stack
resist just in case, but I do agree.
I agreed.
Yeah, but then when he
But yeah.
looks at his funny sheet and like it don't say it says resist, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
And when it don't say
But overall, I'd
resist,
probably
it means it's bad.
Like, you have all the walls. You then have a fast special attacker in Zam. You have a very good physical attacker in Buzzwell. And then you've got Kiram who can just wall break on either side, can set up, can just kind of be an annoying fat shit. Can even do sub roost, toxic fucking shenanigans if it wants to. And which also I'd like to point out, this is the only team in the draft that every Pokemon learns toxic. truly a beautiful team. Like,
That is why it's rated fourth. The rest didn't matter.
exactly.
Just the toxics.
It doesn't have a single Gen 8 mon on it.
Well, that's probably why
Gen
they
8,
all
yeah.
get toxics, because like after Gen 8,
True.
you have to be a poison
Yeah.
type pretty much to get that shit.
It's only Fez that's Gen 9, and everyone else is like Gen 7 forward
Yeah.
and behind.
I think the
But yeah.
biggest weakness that prevented it from being even higher rated is its speed tiering is whack.
Oh yeah, like you're relying on Zam and Scarf Buzzwell, which, as Beyond mentioned to me before, they both just hit the same speed pretty much.
Yeah.
Like 83 with a Scarf is the same as Zam. Therefore, Buzzwell's not going to be faster than Zam.
With its
So when people
79,
speed creep
yeah.
for Zam, they're also speed creeping the Scarf Buzzwell.
What about the Scarf Curum though? It's coming every week.
That's DD Kiran, baby. It's fine.
Yeah. But it's really not that much faster than a Scarf Zam either. Not Scarf Zam, Max Speed Zam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
fair.
but it'd be enough to where like
Yeah,
most Scarf.
if you sped crept the Zam, then like. But the thing is, if you're speed creeping a Zam, you're doing it with a Scarfmon.
Oh, 100%.
And there are not that many Scarfmons that can't afford to beat 317. Scarf, Kirim.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I just go the extra mile and say, fuck it, I'm gonna be extra safe. I'm outspeeding all his homies, and he doesn't have a
100%.
priority move.
But like in that case, there's most of the time when the Scarf is above like 110, let's say, or even base 100, they start lacking a lot in offense.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're
Like
rich.
Gren, who you love as a Scarf, like he's only good because of protein. Like his offensive stats are kind of wank.
Yeah.
Don't talk about him like that, man. It's blasphemy.
And like Scarf Lando, nah, Kieran beating that boy. You know?
Well, which one? I no.
Lando,
Bro's getting
Lando T,
focus
yeah,
blast
yeah.
into a different
But like,
dimension. But
it's
T,
Lando
sure.
I, brother. Scarf Lando I is blasphemous, especially against the Slow King. I'm just gonna keep U-turning all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying in my little corner, hoping you don't have Rocky Helmet Max for death.
What? Praying you're not a menace to society.
Mate, Max for death with Rocky Helmet for the flips and U-turns is going.
Nah, that's menacing.
Nah, that's when you know that like
They thought about it.
U-turn and flip hurts too much, and you know Rocky hit it. But
When you know I'm locked in to play the most skillless game of my life.
exactly. I know you want to get U-turn and go into your strong one that makes it the slow king.
And I don't give a shit. I whipped out my Rocky helmets with a slow king. I'm
You'll have 1/6 damage for that, good sir.
good sir. To pass Garrett will cost
Yeah.
you 1/6 of your health. Goodbye, good sir.
Exactly. I'm a timer.
Ooh.
Yeah, other than like the Woolcore being somewhat exploitable.
And his fastest mon, second fastest mon being Furfro. Pretty good team.
Go gadget fur through. Yeah,
That base 80 attack hit
So-
different.
it's fine though when you have fat shits like Ninetales and Kiron. Like,
Ninetales.
what they're gonna do? You know,
Thinking about
for
Fez.
you, or you one shot them back. I'm sorry, I don't think Fez has the one shotting capability that Kiram and Buzz have.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out who Ninetales is.
Yeah.
Did I say Ninetales?
Yeah. You said Kieran and Ninetales. What you said.
Oh, Buzzwole has many tails.
Does he?
Yeah,
He
you
has
can't
many
see 'em.
arms.
I think those are called wings, but
No, they're underneath his wings, bro.
my bad.
Have you ever seen the back of a Buzzwole? That's what
No.
I thought. There you go.
I see.
Do not spend too much time staring at Buzzwall, unfortunately, so I'm not well
I'm
studied.
gonna look up Boswell Route
Um,
34 and see how
so
many
some
wings
would
he has.
upset you.
Nice. Well, I think we're swiftly moving on from.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, I'd have to talk now. Have fun, boys.
Just gonna be in silence instead, you know. Fuck
Yeah.
it, why not?
If you don't want
Yeah,
to speak, we don't want to
fine.
speak either.
Eshru,
Just move on.
pretty cool, I heard. I like Landorus as well. He's also pretty cool. They go to wall breaking conventions together, and it's a good time.
And they both flex on each other with the big arms.
Exactly. Big arms, big smash, big walls gone.
Exactly.
Then I decided to have my default core of Florges Scissor, and that wasn't as cool as my big wall breakers. That was pretty
Sadly,
shit.
someone took all the defoggers in first round, so you know.
There was a Lando T there for you.
Yeah, but I wanted Lando I, and you can't have
Exactly.
Lando I and Lando T.
No.
That's too much Soras going around.
Yeah, he honestly was just jealous of like Albie's average team, and he just created it.
Pretty
So
much.
I want this Mega Scissor. I want the Slowbro. I want the land away. I want the issue.
I was going to get Blissey as well,
Yeah.
but you know.
But someone took it. It's very mean.
Yeah, I think the asset control is quite shit in both the defog and the rocks department, but everything else is just really good.
I think shit's an overstatement, to be honest. I think defog scissor is good at defogging. It just you have a defog scissor.
Yeah, but more like he has stealth rocks on Lando Eye, and you don't really want that. I mean, you can maybe.
Yeah, but I mean you got
I like-
spikes on Ogre as well. And you said like the fucking defog was shit. The defog ain't shit. You just don't want to do it on the scissor.
That's
You're
fair.
just it's the opportunity cost for the scissor's not gonna run fucking SD bullet punch and shit on people's day, and instead he's here to defog. That's the downside.
Yeah.
The only nice thing is people prepping, like having to prep for the SD scissor. And then it
Yeah,
just coming in.
there's
I'm a big fat
defog.
spineffle with defog.
Literally. It's just like, well, he's kind of done his job to a certain extent, even if he didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Jolteon. Jolteon is like a prime example, in my opinion, of a Pokemon that will do a job without even coming. Which, a lot of the time, it can just come anyway, because it's really fucking good.
Especially with Terra.
Yeah, especially with Terra. But, like, you can't really leave a Jolteon unanswered, otherwise, especially with a decent Pivotal behind it, like Slowbro, Florges, Scissor. It's very nice. You just come in, you Volt Switch, you bring in the appropriate either offensive counter or defensive counter, and guess what? Both the first three offensive bonds all get U-turn. Ogre Palm Cornerstone gets U-turn. We're pivoting. We're here, there, we're everywhere. Jolteon's having a good time. All your mons are slowly getting chipped. And so if you don't bring that ground type that answers but doesn't really answer, you're very sad. And I think Jolteon Terra's so good. If you want to answer it properly, I think you need a Spadef grass type and a ground type, which feels
100%.
rough to bring.
Or a Spadef magic type works well.
Yeah. Especially if you can get all the bolts up. I think for me, one of the biggest weaknesses is Florges being the only Spadef wall. Granted, Mega Scissor, Slowbro can run Spadef, but it's not.
Same with Skelly Dodge. He's got
Yeah,
a fat enough HP stat where he can
yeah,
go to death, but
like
There's also the same thing that a lot of the lower tier teams had, is that the only ground resist, you already know ground resistance, the only thing is Orlando Eye as a
yeah, that's
unity.
true. That's very true.
he's a very bad ground resist, baby.
Yes. So the ground types are doing a number. That's a good point, to be fair.
Yeah,
A very big number. To
Indeed.
a certain extent, when you have walls fat enough to just take the ground type hit anyway, such as
Lobo
Slowbro,
and Scissor.
Scissor, then like it's not as big of a weakness. Unironically, you sometimes have to study the type chart harder as an offensive team or a bulky offensive team as you do as a balanced team because your walls can make up for the lack of resistances. And so then
yeah,
it's more about having the coverage for the weaknesses of the other walls, and the only wall that is weak to ground is Skeleturge. But it's not like you really need to cover Skeleturge's weakness that much. It's more to add to the wall core, and it can come sometimes, than being a weakness that's going to get abused.
yeah, yeah. I just thought it was worth noting.
No, it's
It's like
100% worth noting.
no
It was a
team
good.
is
It was
perfect.
a.
Just
It's
it's
much.
draft, you know.
It looks biased if we don't talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Same with
can't just
Ghost
go
as
into
well.
our top three
Doesn't
like,
have to
no, these
go.
teams are perfect. Nothing wrong. Go on.
Yeah, Ghost is very
No,
good
it's
into the
any
team.
wrong with them. Ghosts are very good as well because like
Yeah.
outside Grafai and Urshifu,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's
That.
very much relying on floor just to just kind of vibe against the
Yeah, literally.
celebrities.
you do be very good at that though.
He do be.
This team kind of took the strategy of fuck the types chart. I'm gonna have walls with such good stats that it doesn't matter, but to a certain extent, it still unfortunately does matter.
Oh, 100%.
But it lessens the burden of it. So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like if you come to play slow against this team, you're getting chewed up and spat out.
Yeah,
Like you're not playing slow against Lando Y and Ocean Single Strike. It's just not something you can do.
they're coming in
So
and
We're
something is
following
dying.
our favorite motto of every Hmong pretty much can pivot.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like the only one that can't is Skelly Dodge.
hmm
you do only have 5 toxics though, which is a big downside.
I know, I know.
huge.
Thankfully, it's on the ones that matter, you know?
Yeah,
The Scissor and the Slowbro and the Lando Eye.
and the
Got us
Florges.
more.
Facts.
No,
Floor just
no.
without toxic
Well,
is
Floor just, like I say, Floor just against those mighty steel types. I'm a Moonblast you or Toxic you. Huzzah.
unlucky steel type. You've been fucked now. I'm gonna press Moonblast.
One
What are
day
you
there'll be
gonna do?
Floor just for singles love and actually give him an ability that works in singles.
Or a ground move. That'd be gnarly. Bam.
Yeah.
I mean,
Any fairy type with ground move is kind of fucking insane, I'll be honest.
yeah. I mean, Floor. It's a plant. You know, it's literally stuck in the ground. Why can't bro get Earth power? He summons the
So
power
true.
of the fucking Earth while he's sat in the ground. Like,
Literally.
but
He doesn't get Mystic
unfortunately,
Fire, he just gets Earth Power.
he don't get Earth power, and so he's kind of mid.
Yep.
Which is one of the like the punishing parts of this team is just Spadef Wall is kind of mid, and he's your only Spadef Wall. The others could do it, but like
Not great.
not what they are generically picked for, although they have that role in this team. I mean, Scissor's always going to be good on Spadef side when you're dealing with the fairies and the fucking psychic
And
types,
Psychics, literally.
but it's not like Floor just struggle to deal with them anyway. I think if you want to beat this team, you have to find a weakness in the wall core and punish it.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be a challenge.
I mean, it sounds stupid to say because, like, with every team, you have to beat them before they beat you. But with this team especially, there's no waiting around. You beat it before it beats you. If you give them too many pivots, it's game over. You can't give these wall cores the opportunity to pivot into these offensive ones, because if you do, they will just destroy you. There's no answer.
One thing I like about the Wall Cores as well, outside of Slowbro, and I'd argue also Floor just because I don't really rate it, but I know some people do. Both Scissor and Skelly Dirge, who both work as Wall Cores, also can just
double up as
Be
sweepers.
like, nah, and just be sweepers, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I
Like,
think
Forge can do a CM as well, but I don't really rate it.
No, I don't rate it
personally.
either because its coverage is ass. I mean, slow
Yeah, that's
Slowbro also gets CM and
CM.
nasty plot, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
nah.
And acid armor iron defense, don't it? Against all of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just rate the Skelly and the Scissor in that regard.
Yeah. I haven't even talked that much about Ogre Pom, but he
Very well.
lessens the gap in the speed between Jolteon and Urshifu with Flashland OI, which is nice. Also, some spikes can come if Hazard Stack is necessary. See Drum coming up in the distance and we throw some spikes. In fact,
Literally.
Bro about to come against Drum, send his thing if it tries to set up a screen. Set up some spikes so he's sad.
You're starting to understand the reason of my Ogre
Yeah,
He doesn't like the ice moves though.
no, he doesn't like those moves. And the team very much does not like the ground moves. So,
Memo Swine gonna rip you a new one. That's
Mammoth Swank
what
rips
I hear.
every team a new one though. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
It's
I will
fine.
keep saying it.
That's the power of Scissor and Slowbro.
Yeah, literally.
You want to go Banded Terror ground EQ? Fair enough, let's play some Sack Wars with Urshifu.
Yeah. I think that's everything said for me. Like,
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I have not been saying much in these higher tier teams, but most of it's already being said by Beyond, so there's not much to add up.
Then we have a Beyond next. Well,
oh, my turn to stay quiet. Exciting.
yeah. Go on, Eric.
Yeah, a lot of regen mons and toxic, and that's all we need. There's the Terra Callion, which I've been told is pretty decent, but like it's not toxic. Can run toxic though. But no, this team is defensive, very good. It's just gonna turn around, annoy you, get into Caldio or Ogre and just smash. That's my whole idea of the team. Just Caldio smash, which I think is also the plan.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say one upsetting thing about its Core, like it's just regen spam and enjoy.
Yeah.
Is Ordino being your ghost answer is always rough because this Ordino's coming every time it sees a ghost on the other team, and if that ghost don't come, Ordino's just kind of like vibing, and you're a bit sad because it's an Ordino at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice mon, but outside doing like body slam knockoff, it's really not contributing much to the team.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think what do you call it? There's the mind
double
games of
psychic on Glow King and Lati also does not help that.
yeah, it feels a bit rough indeed. Like to the extent you need to have a solid. I need to have a solid answer for this ghost type because it will get the opportunity to force shit out. I can't play the game where like I have fast enough Pokemon to just one shot it back and it's gonna do like 70 to me with a Shadow Ball. I have to be like, it's going to get an opportunity where it's forcing a one shot, in which turn it's then going to what do you call it? Force a two shot on another Pokemon. Like I don't know, let's say Keldeo. Keldeo's not going to come in. Keldeo's got fantastic bulk for an offensive mob, but it's not going to come in into a Shadow Ball. So then I need something that's actually a solid answer. Depending on Virgo Cybe and Poland or Taunty could potentially come take two Empoleon Roost, what's his face, Taunty Knock, and deal with it that way, and try and force it so the Ordino doesn't have to come. But if the Ordino is forced to come, it's very sad because at the end of the day, you love Ordino, but it is also just Ordino.
Another rough one is like them tearing into a ghost type, because like knowing that Ordino won't come if they don't have a ghost type, and then tearing into it because like a lot of the core team is kind of weak to it. Like Dark also kind of runs amok outside Keldeo and again Aromatisse being a bit budget, which is a bit concerning. It's like that's some of the stronger offensive types, but like you do have the joy of Taunty just kind of being a fat shit. So I think the team's fine against it. It's just one of the smaller weaknesses it has.
Yeah, definitely.
It also follows the same trend that we have going at no ground resist outside the immunities.
At least
But I
there's
do
2
believe,
immunities.
I also believe 20 is a cracked ground resist. He come in, they use rock move, and you go, ah shit, and you regen away. Like there's no worries
Yeah.
there, especially when you
Th-
have hippo.
That is something I've been noticing while doing this, that almost every team is either weak to ground or ghost, if not both.
Ground and
Hmm.
Ghost especially
They
is
are
like,
the ghost is the best offensive type for them.
yeah, literally. And
Too bad
all
other
the
moves
dark
are kinda ass.
types are generally shit, which is why we're like, you got this shit
Not
ground.
shit.
Well,
Shit
most of them are.
defensively. Sorry.
Defensively, yeah, defensively they're
Yeah.
shit, which is why we're like,
Yeah.
you dark type's kind of shit. And you don't want to bring it. I mean, it's a harsh point. It's a harsh rebuke to have for a lot of these teams because a lot of these dark types are bad defensively, which is
Oh,
why
literally. Outside
a
like
lot of
King Lu and shit
teams.
and Mandy.
Yeah, that's outside Tinglu and Mandy because those are
Yeah, literally.
cracked. You got those just set.
Outside that, you have like shit defensive dark types when it comes to
Which,
ghost moves.
yeah, which is why like
Yeah.
because like a lot of the time you see the dark type and like, oh, I'm just gonna dark type and it steals my dark weaknesses and it finishes my ghost weaknesses. But a lot of teams just will just opt for the normal type into the fairy type like I did, 2 budgets, just because like the dark types are just bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not one who believes in like, oh, I'm gonna pick my Weavile that's gonna fix my ghost and dark weaknesses. No, it's not. Weavile's gonna get sent. Bro's gone.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But Ghost is pretty good against this team. But the only good thing is there's not really that many amazing ghosts allowed in
No.
draft. Like Dragapult is an amazing Pokemon, but 100 special attack plus that base 80 move will only get you so far using a ghost type offensively. It's so cracked, it's fast as fuck, and like ghost types are amazing. So like you're two-shotting everything, but you're not one-shotting a lot of things. And if you can like resist Dragon, you almost resist Ghost anyway because it's just base 80.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Don't think
Although
there's much else to say about
that
this team, to be
doesn't.
honest.
No,
Like,
It,
no,
it's
no, no,
good.
no. Terra
What?
Keldeo is insane.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I've been
for
holding
sure.
back on that. Like that should just not have been allowed in personally. Like it and Buzzwole are so much higher than any other Terra in the like league. It's insane.
I did also vote
Yeah.
no against
I
all the new Terras.
oh, indeed same. But like, I feel like the regen core, just pivoting around into that Keldeo, you're on such a quick timer against this team that it's gonna be so hard to beat.
Yeah,
Like we're talking about all these like these slight small flaws that the team has defensively, but it doesn't matter when you can go into your Cobbleberry Glow King. Oh no, like the fighting type hit you and then hit you with a dark move. You've pivoted out into your Keldeo, you're killing something, and then you go back it and just rinse and repeat, and you've won the sack wars already.
yeah,
Like, and like that Keldeo gets access to Vacuum Wave as well. Like, it can just do what it wants. Even like, I don't really rate it, but SD shenanigans as well. It's not good SD, but with Terra, it pushes it to where the Terra probably pushes it into getting a few kills here and there with the power of SD. To where like it might catch you off guard, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring my fucking special wall ghost type, like Jellicent or something, and it can't get me with the Sacred Sword, and then bam, it turns up like fucking Terra to Ghost, but on the physical side. Like, I still think Calm Mind or Specs is just going to be the way, but that as an option is also
yeah,
spooky.
it's an option to think about. I would like to say because I somewhat brushed it off earlier, but I like to readdress it. Some of the better typings that you need on every team in this team being on some of the bargain bin bonds that I have, like I think you mentioned it somewhat earlier as well, but I just didn't want to brush it off like I did earlier, like being on the Aromatisse and the Odino
What do you?
feels a bit shit,
Yeah, 100%.
like you said
Like
earlier.
we were moaning about steel types earlier, and my man has Empoleon and Bastiodon, which I feel just do not fulfill the role of the steel type really.
Yeah, I feel like Apollo's not that bad. And it
Empoleon's
feels
a
in the
good
middle ground
type.
of premium and the bad ones we were talking shit about earlier. I don't think it's as bad as some of them. It's not exactly Magnazone, but it's not exactly Cove either. So I don't know if you disagree with that or
No, that's about right. If you
yeah.
look at the points, it's also about the middle of their, what is it, like 13, 12?
Yeah, I think it's like
So like
12,
you
which
can't
it
expect too much from it.
looks nearer to the Cove than it actually is. But that's mainly because of like the water steel typing being really good, and to have a good
Yeah,
defensive water and steel type all in one feels very good.
yeah, and he gets all good moves.
And yes,
It
it gets
helps a
a
lot.
Yeah.
lot of great utility moves, but
Oh, 100%. Like,
it
just it being a pivot is good enough, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, but it's not premium like you were saying.
It ain't no Ferrothorn, you know.
I personally would rate it over a Ferro. Just saying. But yeah, like, it's also nice it's not your only water type, because I feel that's one of Empoleon's biggest problems. Is like, you have your water type, and you want to switch them in on the fire moves, and then bam, it's Empoleon, baby. But like, yeah, I feel like you have better fire options with Latias and Keldeo.
Yeah,
But yeah, overall, the team seems like the first 3 months already kind of make it good enough to where it could be anything after that, and it could still be a strong team.
hmm
But I feel like the team that it's got into, I would say, isn't as optimized as it probably could be. But I think for what it is, it's got a bunch of relatively budget walls that all fill in each other's gaps and weaknesses, with like Ogerpon and Dracozolt as like some extra damaging utility, which just makes it very nice. I feel, if anything, it leans more towards stall, and very much I've got my superstar Keldeo that's going to be the team MVP. And if I don't see that Keldeo as kill leader, I will be genuinely surprised. Like, not just of the team, but like of the league.
yeah.
Um, because it's just going to be the Keldeo show every week.
It won't be because I'm here to toxic
Sometimes,
stall the
like,
homies.
yeah, but with your Keldeo. I know what you're like.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, like, it's just going to be regen shenanigans. Keldeo coming in, getting a kill, running away. Sometimes Arctosalt's going to come. Sometimes Ogerpon's going to come. I feel this Hippo has an awkward job. It's probably going to be coming every week, so the electric types aren't mean. But then also, it's a Hippo,
yeah,
and it kind of sucks momentum, and then you're not getting into Keldeo, and then you have to go into one of your regen boys to momentum into your Keldeo. I feel that could be exploited in itself.
yeah, 100%.
Um,
I think to the point you
but yeah,
just said earlier, where like the first three picks are cracked, and then like it was like we've made do what was what's left. I think like that point is amplified to the fact if like we look at the fact that a lot of these picks were made up in Grace to
hmm
fix this team. Not that
yeah, yeah.
many, but like a fair amount of them, which like further goes to the point, which is it is make do. Like this wasn't first choice for this team.
Yeah, yeah.
Not saying that to defend myself, just further the point of like you know it is just cracked first three with a we'll see what we could do with the rest.
Oh, 100%. It's like, even like your common weaknesses, like I said, with like rock, I feel is scary for you. Flying is scary for you. Ground is somewhat scary. Like a good ground type with, well, an ice move. Nah, I hate the whole ground and ice, because that is
Yeah,
all
that's
beam
cracked
coverage
for
at the
everyone.
end of the day. Yeah, literally. Like, that ain't doing for shit for anyone. For like, you've got it all covered. Like, even electric and ice, that like you're somewhat weak to. Like ice, I feel like freeze dry, Iron Bundle, is sending your team, but then in comes New Empoleon to save the day, which is like, again, one of the reasons, like, even though I don't rate it that highly individually, I think on the team it's supporting so much, like, and it's just being there, that it's saving you from being swept on these other sides.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's
Type.
the same with like Rock as well. Rock and Electric are pretty strong on the team, against the team, but then Hippo's there to kind of bandage wrap the team again. Same as St.
Literally, he's
I feel
very
like most
much a
weeks
bandage for up.
the only problem you're gonna have is like 6 months only. Because I feel like most weeks you want the first four, and it's gonna be like Empoleon and Hippo, and then like sometimes Ordino and Aromatisse have to come for like Dark and Ghost types. And I feel like that's where the team's gonna fall short. Is surprisingly for you, it like you need a lot of walls on there, and because in my opinion, though they're different typings, Torn and Gloking do very similar jobs, especially in the fact that they are both great fighting like answers. Like, don't get me wrong, they can do different things. Like, one's weak to ground, one's not, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I feel like they both do share a similar job, and they switch into a lot of the same mons, to where you're going to be in the awkward parts where you want to bring them both for the regen and pivoting cores into Keldeo, but you can't because you need your Hippo, your Imp, and like one of your budget boys.
yeah,
But yeah. Now that's the only part I see this team struggling in, is if it comes against a team with a lot of threats, you're going to struggle to cover all those threats, and you might end up trying to play rock, paper, scissors or what. But you also have the Keldeo that kind of balances that to where you just go, fuck it. Can't beat all those threats. I'll just go somewhat HO with my two regen boys.
yeah, literally.
But
Like,
then that's where you're a bit awkward because you only have your best HO would be Torn, Gloking, Keldeo, Lati, Ogerpon, and Arctozolt, which ain't too bad. Like Scarf Lati, Ogerpon, Bam Bam, Arctozolt in the snow, and then just Terra Keldeo.
yeah.
But yeah,
Although Arctozolt on HO feels rough because you're having to waste a fucking turn to get the snow up. Like, if you're running Arctozolt on
100%.
balance, it feels a lot better because you'll have the time to set up snow for bro. But on HO,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not that great.
When I say HO, it's more like
As fast as
the
you
four
can for
offensive
that
with the
team,
two
yeah.
regen boys, you know?
Yeah, literally,
It's
literally.
four angry boys with two. All I'm here to do is really get into the other lads.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
I think it also is probably worth mentioning that as a point that I brought up for your team, only the reverse, which is if you count Taunty as a wall and we count if we say Gloking, Emp, and Hippo, well, honestly, it extends to Aromatisse to an extent as well. Like, majority of these are primary Spadef. Torn's only 10 stats away from Fizdef, but at the same time, AV Torn's very common, so it makes it seem a lot heavier on the Spadef side. And like, Emp's Fizdef ain't that far away from its Spadef, which is still a very more Spadef wally side
yeah, yeah.
than it is a Fizdef. Which is why Banded fucking Hippo had to come in. I was like, I need a
Yeah, yeah.
Fizdef wall.
Like I won't lie, like Aegislash does seem an insane matchup, though I won't lie. He often has insane matchups. It's the power
Yeah,
of Ghost fighting. It's the same as Ground Ice. Yeah, I do agree. Hippo does feel like the flaw just on my team.
yeah, literally.
It's like, shit, I'm very specially sided. In comes Fizdef Wall. I think you are a bit safe though, because like I'd say a lot of like the common what you call it,
Physical
physical
typings.
moves like
Yeah,
CC,
yeah.
Stone Edge, all that crap you got covered. I think the one thing you might be scared of is like Poltergeist. Poltergeist goes in hard.
Poltergeist goes
Like
very hard, I think.
Poltergeist on anything that can take an Ordino. Ouch. Same with a little Urshifu called Bam 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 Wicked Blow. Does go in pretty hard given that Aromatisse does not appreciate that flak.
So we've got a safety net, Terra Bastion in the back. Go, my goats, eat it
You
up.
have fat defense.
He does.
Exactly. He's there to just Terra Fairy and body press the mean people.
You know, when I was originally building this team, I almost went for Steelix, but I couldn't afford the points to get Aromatisse and Steelix, so I had to go for Bastion.
If it makes you feel better, I think Bastion is just a better Pokemon than Steelix. Like
Doesn't
Metal
make me
Burst.
feel better at all.
Metal Burst is an insane move.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like only like 4 months get it, and Bastion's one of them. Also, like Iron Defense is very nice on him, and like he actually has a Spadef stat unlike Steelix. So
yeah, the only reason I was considering Steelix over Bastion was because I primarily wanted for memes, and I primarily wanted to steady up my defense.
Yeah, yeah.
because I've pretty much got like all the types covered by Spadef mons. But
Yeah.
Hippo's just like there defending himself with some Beth walls trying to help out against the Fizdef mons, the physical mons.
Another mon I think you might have problems with is Aurora. Like
Yeah, with the grass knot for Hippo, like
yeah,
bit
just a
rough.
singular grass knot and then just physical rest.
Hmm.
Like I'm looking at knock off, bulk up, plasma fists, grass knot just being like a fat GG.
It's when I
And like
bring the Cobra Berry
that that
Latias.
that matches into things like Iron Hands as well. Like
I don't think
I feel there's a lot of Hands probably
hands.
doesn't break Hippo, but
No, hands ain't that bad when I
still.
got Lassie. To be fair, Fizdef Latios ass.
True, yeah.
I do bad. But then I'm bringing a Fizdef Latias, so take of that what you will. Still gets Iron Punch, Ice Punch from what I remember. So
Yeah.
You do.
But anyways, moving on to the top team.
first place.
Yay.
One and only time.
Yep.
Is Eric's.
Come on, man. I'm
Now
called the Dutch
I'm
Dragonites nowadays.
I call him Giga
nah,
Shitters.
sturdy Steelix, mate.
Yeah, massive shitter.
Exactly. You get him Dutch Dragonites soon. PM.
Season
Um
19.
exactly. Uh I'll let Beyond Mini talk about this team, mainly because I do not rate the Wall Core that much. But I do really love the Polt and the Lando and the Snorlax and the Infernape. But yeah, go Beyond go.
Go Power Rangers. Well, obviously a fucking Dragapult, like probably the best Pokemon in the league. So a team with a Dragapult likely to be very good. Personally, I
Indeed.
like Lando, Vaporeon, Pharaoh. I honestly with Snorlax as well to an extent. Like Snorlax can lend in to the Spadef things that Vaporeon misses, considering there's only Vaporeon on that side. With Lando's weaknesses being water and ice, obviously resisted by Vaporeon. Pharaoh weak to fire and fighting. Fighting resisted by Lando. Fire resisted by Vaporeon. Obviously makes up a core in which has really no weaknesses. And then there's a Terra Snorlax that can go in and even cover even more weaknesses if needed. Or
I think a master
sweep.
weakness is flying.
Yes, very much
His
so.
only flying resist being
Raichu.
the mighty Pikachu. Oh yeah.
Fat Pikachu.
Pikachu's fat older self.
Yeah. Luckily, I think for it has a fat Vaporeon and Snorlax that can like just take those hits, and a Lando that can take them on the physical side. So it's kind of
I
like
like that.
what I was arguing for the Ghost stuff earlier, in which like it has mons that have such supremely good defensive stats
Yeah, that's right. You got Pharaoh.
that like it ain't that bad, and there's no weakness other than the ape, so it doesn't feel too
Yeah,
bad. If they can't one-shot the offensive mons, it's not that much of a problem, and like they need to be insane breaker to two-shot the defensive ones as well.
yeah. It's the same with like Shadow Ball. Cause I'd say Shadow Ball's pretty strong against his team because that Snorlax is going to change out to normal eventually. And like when it does, the Shadow Balls run havoc.
Yeah,
But again, Vaporeon and Snorlax just kind of look at the Shadow Ball and go, "Oh no, what a shame."
literally, not a base 80 power move. Whatever shall I do?
Mm. Like I said my main nitpick with the team is the bundle. I feel it does a very similar job to Dragapult, but like Dragapult has more sets it can do, whilst like Specs is arguably one of its better sets. It never really wants to run that on this team because of the bundle. The bundle kind of wants to do that job.
Yeah,
Therefore, this Pult's always going to be more like a Willow Hex or a DD set, and it kind of makes it a bit more like not predictable, but like you can somewhat be like, I don't need to worry too much about these Shadow Ball spams because then the bundle and the Pult are doing the same thing.
yeah. I think to a certain extent, it's kind of like it's not too bad because when the special Shadow Ball specs pull is good, I feel you just say fuck it and run its both specs anyway, and be like, oh whatever, you know?
Yeah, but like for me, anything that's walling the Bolt Shadow Balls probably takes on the bundles hydros, and also like, but the bundle really does not want to run specs because you've only got one defogger in Lando T. Like I feel the bundle for the cost it was just very inefficient for the team personally.
Fair, I kind of get that. I mean, Defog Lando T isn't the worst. I feel like you can punish it with Toxic, I think, because it'll get slowly
And not,
whittled.
yeah.
Toxic can not punish it a lot, but like I think with this team, it should do its job for long enough where Specs Bundle and Dragon Ball can just rip shit up.
Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I had the Bolt Lando 2 seasons ago now, so not that season, the one before, and it felt so awkward because like there was pretty much always hazards on the field. Like it got to the point
Yeah,
I just had my Bolt boots most weeks, which is fine for Bolt, but like Bundle really suffers from that.
yeah. I mean, I think it turns the bundle into more of a utility mon and limits its
Yeah,
role as much as
which
it
is why
once was.
for me at 18 points, I feel this bundle could have just been something better. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but I feel like the bundle was just a, oh shit, there's an 18 bundle still there, point bundle still there. Then we
Uh,
may as well take it.
if I remember correctly, I was at work and I messaged Beyond after I only picked the Dragon Ball because I was first pick. Like, are there any good defoggers left? If so, which one? And then like, what's the other best mon left? And he just responded with Lando T Iron Bundle are still there. So I was like, yeah, I got that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty much what happened. Like the Iron Bundle, I think is just good enough where you can justify picking it with something like Dragapult. It's not
I
like
just don't
the
think it's
mon isn't
that
gonna rip
good.
shit.
I think it's only good when it's on a team that can facilitate it being specs. Like, I'm fine you taking it because I feel like you did a service for it not to go on the Coco team. But like at that point, there was like so many other 17-point mons that you could have probably gone instead, which I feel would have benefited more. But
I wanted
like
to get Gren. That was the
me,
main plan at first. Gren built, but it
no,
wasn't there.
I don't know. Like even Cinderace, I would have taken over Bundle personally. But even then, I feel like also falls into the trap of can't run choice item.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
for my argument for Port Bundle would be I think the things that beat Port guaranteed the best are fairy types, but they have to invest into their Fizz Def to not like crumble under
Do they
like
though?
I think I do to not lose to
I never
just
see DD Steelwing though.
just from band stealing. Well, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it can't happen, you
Oh
know?
no, for sure.
And I feel like you can just run that kind of set, and then the fairy
They still
types,
both just get beaten up by like a Blissey though, for example. Any good Spadef will
then just from Dragon
can just
Dart's band, and the Blissy's gonna cry.
Any special offensive mon got set against the Blissey.
100%. I'm just more getting it like it just feels like Pult's just does
Port,
not want to run specs.
yeah, 100%. Port is slightly limited, but I feel like the
Yeah.
Pokemon is so
I
versatile that you're not that
oh
sad.
yeah.
And if the special
But
game
like I
is
just feel
that
like
good,
you
just run
shouldn't
them
have to
both.
gimp yourself like that. Is what I'm getting at. Like for both 18-point mons, I feel like you're just gimping yourself a bit when you could have just got way better value. That's my argument against it. But other than that, like I like the rest of the team.
Yeah, I see that. I see that they are limiting each other to a certain extent. Although, but I just argue that I think even when they're limited, they're just Pokemon I wouldn't
That good.
really
Yeah.
want to pass up if given the option
No,
to pick
fair.
them. I mean, maybe it turns. I think
I
this
think we also
team
have very recency bias as well with Bundle, personally.
fair. I thought it hasn't done that amazing recently. I don't think.
Oh no, that thing used to go undrafted all the time, and we used to bully it. And
Yeah,
like,
but then like specs was
then we
discussed.
put it on some. Yeah, literally, we got specs because we put it on good default teams.
Yeah, and maybe this team like wants to get another decent defogger later. But I think even if
Hmm.
it, I think it's a really good team right now, and I think it has this even stepping stones to maybe become better. I think the Inferno goes well with the team as well to offer some
Oh, literally,
more versatility. It can run setup on
the
either
Infinite's very
side,
nice.
and it can also be a scarfer. Neither of the first two want to
Hmm.
scarf, and if Lando's locked into a Fizz Death role, it can't really afford to either. So that like option to be a scarf is very nice.
It's also a very nice bander.
Yeah.
Like even
Mhm.
specs to an extent.
Yeah.
Like it's just good with any choice item. It's good with setup. It has good priority for like managing anything getting out of control. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
For
said,
sure.
I like the team a lot. It's just the bundle just kind of feels off. But like it still works. Like
It is
even when I'm
coming
making an
every
argument
game.
against it, it doesn't feel bad. It's just I
Yeah.
see it and
It
I'm
could have
thinking,
been more efficient.
yeah, literally. I'm like seeing just like you get rocks up and it's a bit annoying for the bundle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. If there's one nitpick I'd have to pick other than the bundle, I think fairy types with fire move go a bit in. I think it feels rough to pair a Pharaoh with a poison type that does not resist fairy.
I would argue
Yeah, that's
completely
fair.
differently. I think Snorlax is the fair answer. Like most weeks, it's going to be Terra Steel or Poison, and it just vibes. You
Fair,
know?
but then I'd argue if that is the case, I don't like this muck really.
The Muck
No, I
gang
don't. No,
though.
the
The Muck
Muck is
is not a
asshole.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I don't
getting
Muck
know.
is
at.
ass, baby.
I
I
don't
Yeah.
like
while
the
drafting, I
muck.
recently got completely fucked 2 games in a row by T Spike, so I was like, I need a poison type. And then like I wanted Dark, a Psychic Resist, because I was like, might as well get 2 in 1. And I think I had 3 poison types in mind before this that all got picked in that same round, so it was the best that was
Yeah,
left in my opinion.
I think
I
yeah.
just feel it costs too much for what it is.
It's so
Like in my
expensive.
head, you're never bringing that Muck.
Yeah, I mean the ghost types are getting fucked by Snorlax. You're never gonna think, oh, I need them.
Literally.
And
Yeah, that's true.
the dark
And
types
like,
could have been beaten by a fairy type.
and with the toxic spikes, A, you have Lando to just defog them away, and B, like I already said, that Snorlax is 90% of the time going to be Terra Poison,
Yeah.
and it can just come and absorb them for you.
You didn't know it, but you already had a poison type.
Literally. Like it's gonna be very niche if that Lax is ever not poison or steel.
Yeah, I like the Rescue as a second terror as well. Personally, I think
Yeah, it ended up fitting
it's
perfectly with the points.
it's a it's a shitter Jolteon, but Jolteon costs 15 points or 14 points of terror. It costs like 4 or whatever, so like I
Yeah.
think it's a bit more to be fair actually, because Snorlax was only 11 from
Yeah,
what I
it's four
remember.
four.
So just like
Snorlax was
Snorlax is
15.
15, my friend.
Yeah.
oh shit, my bad. Yeah, yeah. So four, very very good for Raichu Terror, I think personally. Like its special attack and its speed
Agreed.
aren't anything absolute amazing, but you're gonna
For its
have to bring
points,
an
it's good
answer
enough.
to that shit. So like it's kind of it's what it does outside in the building phase more than what it does actually in the game. Bro's forcing Albie to bring that Donphan. That's all that matters. Donphan is arriving. Well, Donphan probably should be rising. He's gonna die to the fucking grass knot. Bro gone.
No, yeah. I think the only annoying thing for the Raichu, and it's a very meh thing, it's just along with the Alolan Muck and a lot of like the point questionable choices with the team, another 4 points with the 10-point Muck. It just feels like both of them could be turned into a 1 point shitter and like a better mon.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I do agree, but I'd probably value turning those into, I don't know. I know Sylveon's already drafted, but if those evolved into a Sylveon, that would be pretty gnarly.
Literally. Like you could even pick up Okie Dokie and 11 points. Get your poison type. Mind you, poison type doesn't deal with the fairies again, but like
Yeah. I mean,
That's a problem for another boy.
if it was another spinner or another defog lurking in the
Mm-hmm.
in the fucking draft pool, then like one of those would be pretty good instead of those two as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll look at them tomorrow.
I mean, you don't have to. It's our opinion, obviously. You don't have to. Like,
Yeah,
general disclaimer: it is our opinion. It's not fucking
Yeah.
Bible,
Now this is
you know.
fact, complete fact. We are all VGC multiple time champions.
Oh,
Everything we say is
don't know
fact.
what's gonna do for the singles games, but
Fuck VGC.
okay.
VGC's ass changed my mind.
VGC is worse than singles. I'll agree.
100%.
Can't spam toxic.
Facts.
Oh no, they click protect. What a cool game mechanic.
Just like that.
Every
Yes.
turn's a 50-50, baby. I love it. I remember when someone tried to justify me that about VGC, that like there's more options per turn. And I was like, yeah, but 70% of the time they just click protect anyway, so it doesn't matter how many options there are. But yeah, we move.
Nothing to move to. I think we're done by then.
Indeed.
This is the third and last time I will have the best team in the league.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah.
You might get first pick again. You also do have the same thing that we were saying earlier. You only have the one ground immunity in Lando.
Yeah.
No.
And then 3
All I'm
weeks
gonna
is.
say
I'm glad you brought that up
is-
before we just fucking fucked off. Like, yeah, this is the best team because we say so. Fuck the
Nah,
fact it's.
teams got issues in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all the teams in this league have issues. Why none of them are S? Like this
Mm-hmm.
team has Alola Muck eating all the points.
Nom,
I
nom, nom,
I
nom,
argue a
nom.
bundle also wasting a few points, but like not
Uh,
enough to where I'll penalise the team for it. Just more, I want to moan about it.
yeah.
The Muck, on the other hand, will penalise the team. It's a big pile of shite, quite literally. So
Literally. I mean, the one upside why this team is like, this team's like the best, and the other teams with like, here's my one ground immunity is Landorus T is the premium ground immunity. He is the best in the game in my opinion. It is rock move is
Corp,
neutral.
Corp, no.
Alright, Corp's
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
the
Corp's
premium.
way better, brother.
Yeah.
I'd even
He
argue
is the
Glycol's
second.
them better.
They can sit on the same perch, you know, homies
I
together.
don't know. Glycol has the power of I heal, and Lando has the power of gobbling on like an apple, hoping like that he can come in on enough electric moves to like gain the 40% damage it took from the electric like spec electric moves coverage move.
But when Lando hits back, it actually hurts.
Oh, it does.
When Glycor hits
but that's
back,
when,
you're
that's,
like,
but that's
bro,
when
why
you
did
but,
you
bro,
SD?
that's when you bring in your Glycor, and then the Lando goes, "Ah, shit, I can't earthquake it. What do I do?"
And he goes, fuck, I'm switching now as bro sets up some spikes.
Literally. Lando's cracked, but he's also his own kryptonite. It's beautiful.
It felt very
Yeah.
weird to pick up around 4 Vaporeon, but literally every water type was gone.
Indeed, I think sometimes needs must, and like you want to secure your water type because you've picked Landorus
Yeah.
Farian. So
Literally.
like,
Also, it was
it's
technically 4th and 5th pick.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So it feels a bit better. I mean,
Very
generally,
happy with my ping though.
one of the like reasons why this team is rated so highly yet has so many flaws is you got pulped. Like at one time, a lot of times when you get the first pick, your team has to suffer because of it. You have to like, I don't know,
And
you
the team
don't get a
didn't
good
suffer.
defogger or something. But this team really hasn't
Yeah.
suffered that much because of it.
No.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Suffered
good.
more in the 4th, 5th pick than in the 2nd, 3rd, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I know when Beyond told me that when I matched him with Lando T and Iron Bando was still there, I was like, what the fuck? How did Lando T make it to the end of round 2?
I know. When I was first
Especially with
pick,
Glycor and
everything was gone.
Corp going like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have
Yeah.
thought someone would have thought, ah, shit, better get
I was like, I know
a
the boys
premium
like
ground
Lando T.
immunity.
I know Mirek told me he wanted to land OT, so I was like, no way that's ever making it back to me. So I didn't even bother looking at it.
I was gonna pick him up, but I thought like I've used him too many times recently, like a
I'm
pagan.
glad you did. I was looking at Mega Scissor until you picked it, and then I was like, oh,
I'm so
Lando's
glad I
there.
did. I really want to use Mega Scissor. That's why I picked him.
Is Oshron,
'Cause,
although I wish for you that you got it
yeah.
on like a team where he wasn't forced to be defog. But
Oh, agreed. But like,
what can you do? I mean, it felt like a lot of the time I feel like he always falls into that trap when I see him picked.
hmm
So it's just like, what
like
can you do? Sometimes he just is there.
the dream was picking up Lando T and then getting Scissor on the way back, and I was like, that's just not happening.
No.
Like I knew the people between me. It was only two of them, but I was like, yeah, they are the type of people to pick up Mega Scissor. So we moved.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good place to end it. You know, if there's anything I'd say at the end, please feel free to discuss. You are definitely most likely allowed. Well, not most likely. You are allowed to tell us we
Nah,
are
just most
wrong.
likely.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
most likely allowed to tell us we're wrong. Depends how
You might
Callum's
get
feeling
blocked, but
on the day,
yeah.
but you
Yeah,
may
yeah.
be
We will
reported to
argue.
the authority. Yeah, we will argue, but
And we will
you
call
are
you shit.
encouraged
Yeah.
to call us wrong.
When you tell me Strength Sap is reliable recovery, I will argue with you for about 2 days straight.
But you are entitled to your opinion. No, but actually, like, it is just an
Uh,
opinion. Please do argue if you feel otherwise. But yeah,
Indeed.
that's about it.
Let us know if we missed anything as well.
The only thing I'm going to
Yeah.
say is, can we please all start drafting better? Because I really want to see some S tiers, and I also want like us to be out of the curve of everyone around B and C. You know,
I think if you want to
I
get a
feel we could
S
have a
tier, people
season.
need to draft shitter so the good ones get left for an S tier team.
No, I want a season where we have only C's and then like a couple S's. That'd be good. But like everyone seems obsessed with like not falling into one strategy. You know,
Yeah. I
we've had
wanna.
so many teams that have gone somewhat good HO and then just got cold feet at the end and gone nah, and you get like
I feel like a lot
complete
of people
shit rules
say
for no reason.
HO is a bad way to draft, but I honestly think it's not that bad. I think HO is fine, personally.
HO is better than getting HO and then picking up like free shit walls for no reason other than like, oh, I didn't want to draft HO, but instead I drafted HO and free mons it. Just feel really awkward on the team.
hmm Literally.
But yeah.
But yeah.
And the other
Thanks.
note I have is this is gonna be the scariest terror season, and
But we're gonna hate it.
yeah, terrors are scary. Every
Terrors
move.
do be extremely spooky.
But yeah.
I expect to see LB on top to lead the ball with his buzzwall. Otherwise, he's shit.
I'm
And
telling you, it's either
That
you,
or
it's either the
Keldeo, yeah.
Keldy or the Buzzwall.
Or the swine.
They're the top two. Oh yeah, almost Swine. Yeah.
now Swine ain't like that.
Yes.
Swine don't sweep. Swine breaks, and
Swine,
then
no,
like all the
Swine's
other
got
homers get the kill.
Swine's also on a team where like it's gonna be Swine and Morwell breaking, and then Roaring Moon coming in for the sweep.
Yeah, Swine's like part of something great offensively,
Yeah.
whereas like Mykeldio is like a well, not standalone because there's other tools offensively to go with it, but like the Swine is fucking Mega Marwell and Moon beside it. It's not gonna get it. But like the Buzzwall got like Mega Zam and like Kyurem, and that's it. Like,
Literally.
Yeah.
and the way Albi stat pads for that thing hits in, it should be in.
Mate, he's
Uh,
going to lose so much differential just to
just a
guarantee a
stat
couple
pad.
more kills than that
Yeah,
Buzzwall.
yeah, and I respect it. Unless he
Yeah.
doesn't make it the playoffs, in which case I'm gonna laugh at him.
That's what I did with the
If he
Mega
don't
Penis
if he doesn't make it to playoffs with a Terra Buzzwall, I genuinely think he has to change his team name and logo.
Agreed.
He's not
You
allowed
know
to
what?
Yeah,
have
those
Sun
small
Buzzwall if he
armed
can't make
girls.
it to
I,
playoffs.
I know what to end on. I want to shout out Tom for the greatest improvement over a season in a draft.
Very true. Yeah.
From like last to eighth, that's massive. Who else is gaining
Mhm.
8 places?
Exactly.
But
I think
yeah.
Eric did actually. Fair.
Yeah, I think I did the most, but
Eric's in now. You're
Were
normally
you?
middle, and then you're into
I was
first.
gonna say, were you below? Like, were you like ninth or like eighth to gain 8 places?
let me check the previous
I'll go
power
check. Don't
rankings.
worry.
Oh,
I'm on it. It's just loading the images. Oh, you were, yeah, you were ninth. So yeah,
Ah, shit. Well,
you've gone from
drawn.
ninth to first.
Feels good, man. Yet again, one of the boys is the best.
Yep.
But in all
Well,
fairness, unlike Eric, Tom's improvement is because he's getting better, not because he got first pick. And on that note,
on that note, we love you, Tom. You're our goat.
exactly.